Hey everyone, the Talking Dads podcast is brought to you by Little Scholars Early Learning Center. Whether your family needs infant care, a preschool program, or before and after school care, Little Scholars' highly rated Step Up to Quality programs provide quality early childhood education at an affordable price. Visit www.littlescholars.net to get in contact with an enrollment specialist and schedule a tour of any of their 5 Lake County campuses. Here's the deal. Talking Dads fans are getting a little bonus. Mention that you heard about them through our podcast, and when you tour, and you'll receive $25 off of your registration fee. Again, that's Little Scholars Early Learning Center, where children learn, play, and grow together. We are also brought to you by Pub Fredo Gastropub. Pub Fredo was voted Best Gastropub in Cleveland in 2019 by Cleveland Magazine Silver Spoon Awards. We love Pub Fredo. Their menu is chef-inspired, always pushing the limits of traditional pub fare. The other night I had a burger, I believe it was called the Pub Burger. It was incredible. Cooked perfectly. It was amazing. And you won't have a problem pairing your favorite item on the menu with their great selection of local craft beers, crafted cocktails, and of course, an amazing bourbon and whiskey selection. I went with the Bullet 10-year with my Pub Burger. All of this in a cozy, fun, come-as-you-are atmosphere. You can check them out at pubfredo.com and on Facebook and Instagram at Pubfredo Gastropub.
We are also brought to you by Marky Fresh Barbershop in Menor, Ohio.
Bro, I love Marky Fresh.
It's the best, isn't it?
Dude, I get cut there like every 3 weeks. My kid gets cut there every month
Every
and a
now and
half or
then.
so. Month and a half, 2 months, something like that. They do such a good job.
The environment is phenomenal. Everybody's awesome there.
Can I tell you a secret? I don't
Please.
even give a shit about the haircut. It is so much freaking fun going there.
Just to hang out.
Yeah. I have such
Just have a good time. Every time, man.
Yeah.
You
But
get caught.
They
If you want to be in there, they're fast.
Oh, yeah.
Their whole app, everything, booking to get in.
so
It's so
easy.
convenient and easy, but you get caught up
Oh, yeah.
because you just want to hang out and talk with these guys.
You know what the word is? Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
So many shenanigans.
You don't want to leave.
It's so much fun. But honestly, they do a fantastic job.
They really do.
I look way better when I leave than when I get
You
in there.
really do.
I know.
So, yeah, Marky Fresh.
Yeah, book at markyfresh.com.
Book, get in, stay fresh.
Happy freaking New Year, podcast. Thank you so much for starting your new year off with us and a brand new episode of The Talking Dads. We start our 2021 with Bill Hayes in studio. We've known Bill for a long time now. We always have a really good time. The dude's hilarious. So we talked about him and his kids. We went into some virtual learning stuff and you know, just kind of talked about the holidays and New Year's resolutions coming up. Got into some sports talk. We had a really good time. I hope you love it. Definitely share it with your friends. Do us a favor. Give us that review. Tell us what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see come up in the future. And yeah, let's start 2021 off right. Appreciate you. Love.
In a world where moms continue to dominate parenting authority and a father's role is minimized in society, 2 dads take on the toughest parenting topics on a weekly basis, all while drinking bourbon. They are the Talking Dads.
Bill, what's up, man? Thanks for coming in. We are at the Collab by Notion in beautiful downtown Willoughby. Got that out of the way. So, what's up, dude? Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Merry
to you guys.
Christmas, buddy.
Hard to believe it's the end of the year.
Hard to believe that Christmas came and went already. I can't believe that, man.
It was kind of a weird Christmas, right? All right, let me ask you this. Did you enjoy your Christmas? You made the best of it? Like
100%. 100%. It was great. So I have an 11-year-old. So the thing is with her is she lets you know every day how many days there is to Christmas.
Right.
So it feels a lot longer for me. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Oh, no, I get that.
You got the little, like,
But seasonally wise, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Seasonally wise, yeah, it went pretty quick.
Well, yeah, my son was all over it, man. But he didn't understand this. Like, he doesn't understand the concept of time yet. So it's like, Christmas is tomorrow. I'm like, no, buddy, we still have like 3 weeks. I'm like, it's Christmas season. Yeah, we have the lights up, but
well, yeah,
it's
here's
not
the
Christmas
problem.
yet.
My wife, like, Halloween hits and she goes, all right, now it's Christmas. I'm like, no.
I told
No.
kids, that's what Sam says. He goes, okay, now it's Christmas time. I'm like, no, I'm putting the Halloween stuff away.
Yeah.
Then we have Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And we're not really decorating
Got
for
Veterans
Thanksgiving.
Day.
Yeah, we got Veterans Day. We got the Marine birthday.
That's right.
So I'm like, you know what? We're going to wait for Christmas stuff. I know you do Christmas lights at your house, right?
Well,
you did?
A lot of people make fun of me because we used to do lights, but now I'm just not doing them.
Yeah.
I just refuse.
Oh, you refuse to
Well,
now.
It's dangerous. You got
Yeah.
ladders. It's a high house. The roof is steep. I'm just not going to do it.
You know what, man?
So we put just a spotlight. It looks like snowflakes, even when it's not snowing.
Yeah.
Clever.
Yeah.
It's very
Steve
clever.
had that idea when we were
You know
like
what's so funny about that?
19 years old or something. You were doing,
was-
we were
it was
doing
Newbert and
Christmas
I.
light you and Newbert were doing them at your
I
mom's
had, I had
house,
a,
right?
and I had a laser pen.
Yeah.
Here's the story. So Newbert actually, it's funny because Newbert sent me a snap last night of the lasers on somebody's
shit.
house. So I had this laser pen, and this thing, like you turn it, the head on it, and it like puts the lasers all out, like, you know, like a bunch of little laser beams.
Iron Man shit.
Yeah. So I'm like, I had the laser pen, and I'm like, dude, can you imagine? Because I was shining it on a tree, and I'm like, can you imagine if we could put this like as a projector onto a house? You wouldn't even need Christmas lights. He's like, yeah. So we started talking about it. I'm like, we could even do it to where you could line up the lasers on like the gutters and make it look like that's your lights. So yeah, we never went anywhere with that.
Right.
I give it a fast forward of about 4 years,
Everybody's doing it.
and that's
All over the
they're
place.
everywhere.
You
They're
missed your
they're sold
opportunity.
everywhere. As seen on TV at Walgreens. They're all over Lowe's and everything. I'm like, God damn, we missed it,
fucked up.
man. We had
Fucked
it.
up.
Yeah.
And now they have, like you said, like the
It's
snowflakes.
a little plastic ball that costs $35 that
Yeah.
doesn't last 2 weeks because the snow buries it and it shorts out. And
Exactly.
But I mean, think about it now with like technology now. I mean, that was back 10 years ago,
Yeah.
15 years ago. Now, I bet that like you could come up with something and you like Bluetooth it to an app that you like beforehand take a picture of your house.
Exactly, that's what-
and like puts the blueprint of your windows and everything else on there. Like
We
I bet
talked
it'd
about
be
that too.
perfect.
We didn't talk about the computer program, but we were like, can you imagine if you could do like a straight line on those gutters and then
Yeah,
have
right.
it go like on each
I mean,
gutter?
They could definitely do it.
It
They
could be
have those
done.
apps that like it'll measure distant point A to point B and all that kind of
I
stuff.
swear there's a house right on Elizabeth that does that in Willoughby. It might
Oh,
be
really?
Manor or Willoughby. There's a house that does that. Literally,
Sons of
it's
bitches, man.
put up to music. The lights
Yeah.
are perfectly straight. It's crazy looking.
Dude, some of these houses.
Didn't even break a sweat.
So like I go past some of these houses. We're getting on the subject of Christmas lights. So drive by some of these houses and they have like the blow ups, like 30 blow ups.
Yeah.
And you know how much those things cost. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
dude,
they're a
for
couple
a small one,
$100.
those are like those are 40
Well,
bucks for
like,
the
yeah,
small ones.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
these
yeah.
people have them the size of their houses and their yards are filled with them. I'm like, dude, you could spend that money on some quality lights
Yeah.
that play the music like and done neatly. Like those really nice
I don't
fucking
understand
lights.
where people store this shit.
That's exactly
because here's the thing: when you take them down, the snow's probably melting, and or there's still snow on the ground, so they're wet. You got to
Muddy.
dry them out, or you got to
Oh,
clean
muddy
them
too,
out.
man.
Like where?
What's I don't understand. Like, yeah, because you put them in the garage and then you have to let them dry. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have an opportunity to let these things dry out.
Yeah.
And you have 40 of them in your
Full of
yard.
ice.
It's
Yeah.
like- well, not to mention Heisley Park. They have a lot of nice lights over there.
Yeah.
But this one house is insane. They have the stuff over the driveway. They have all these like,
Isn't that
little
Russo's
pillars.
house?
And Russo's house is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But further down that road, there's a sign. It looks like they got it from Toys R Us. It says toys in their front yard, but it looks like the old Toys R Us sign.
Really?
It's massive. And I'm like, where the fuck do you store that?
Right.
Where do you put that?
Yeah.
You just shove it behind the shed. It's
Well,
not
that's what I
going in your
never
attic.
understood. Like, you ever see that? There's a show every year on like ABC or something like that. It's like the Great Christmas Light Fight or something like that, where people like in neighborhoods. It's like Clark Griswold shit, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like they're just competing to see who's got the crazier lights.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's definitely staged and it's reality TV and all that kind of stuff.
But, dude-
like these are normal sized houses with millions of lights and
Storage facility.
yeah,
You
I
have to.
guess
You
so,
probably
right?
have to get
Storage
a,
facility.
yeah, you have to because where else are you going to do it? You have to get like a designated garage put into your yard just for Christmas lights.
Yeah, you have your regular size house, and you just have like a giant pole barn in the back.
Oh, what's that
Takes
for?
up your entire yard.
It's for my holiday.
That's for that's for the 3 weeks that they're up.
Out of the year.
Like, this is it, honey. This is what I live for. It's like, here we go.
I saw a meme like dad's from January to November is like turn the goddamn lights off. And,
Yeah.
and then in December it just lit up like
Yeah,
a fucking
don't even
space
turn them
needle.
off. It's so true, man.
Who turned the lights off?
Yeah. Hey, those are supposed to be on all night. It's so true, man. We use the old school like C9s too, so it's like
Yeah,
those
those
things
are
are just
cool.
cooking up the
Oh, yeah.
energy
They
bill there.
crush it.
Oh yeah, but I love them.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Season's over though, right? Like
Yeah,
it's,
I'm looking. I'm waiting for the opportunity to take all the lights down.
I didn't put anything out. Well,
Well, you
we're in
didn't
part
have
of
to
the
this year.
That's happening at my house as we speak.
Oh yeah.
Clean up.
It's the day after.
Okay, I like it.
Done.
Yeah, so Christmas was different, at least for us. Normally we have well, actually, normally it's at our house Christmas Day, and since we're in transition right now, we had to do it at my in-laws, and there was only 6 of us. There's usually like 20, so that was kind of weird.
What was this? You and her parents?
Yeah, it was us and her parents, and then her aunt and uncle. But normally, like cousins and everything else was over, and so this year we had like a bunch of phones set up with like FaceTime, and it was very strange and awkward. And
We did a Zoom
fine.
call. We did a Zoom Christmas with my mom's side of the family, and it was like, you can't talk to anybody. The kids are going crazy. You can't get a conversation, and you can't hear what they're saying.
Well, it's hard enough when everyone's in the room. If you think about it, like everyone's in the room and the kids just go crazy.
Yeah,
like,
but at least we go
in
sit
our
up.
family, there's only my kids. Like no one else has little kids, so they are the center of attention, and they get to just go crazy. And 95% of the packages are for them.
Yeah, true.
And so they're just going nuts. And like now we're trying to tell them to wait to like get the correct camera of who got them what, and like it was just.
We tried. It's impossible.
it
We're
was
like, you guys
so
wait, and they're like,
difficult.
yeah, they're opening up presents
Like, yeah,
that
good
aren't
luck.
theirs. I'm like, okay, buddy, yeah, it's okay.
My sister-in-law, they live in Utah, and so since they weren't traveling home for Christmas, they decided, and this is really cool actually, just the two of them. They drove out to Montana and went snowmobiling on Christmas Day.
Montana.
Like a whole day, like it looked amazing. Like she was sending us
awesome.
pictures and videos and shit. It was amazing, but they didn't have any service, so like they would try and call, and kids were trying to open stuff, and then they would cut out. And
Yeah, it's cool, but it's like, I mean, it was nice kind of having a low key Christmas.
It kind of
that's
was.
what I was gonna say.
Like
kinda was.
so like every year, like Christmas Eve, we'd be with my mom and her family, and then we would rush over to my dad's afterwards. Like we were always going somewhere, and you're looking at your watch the whole time. Like, all right, well, it's getting close. We got to start packing up the car.
Weather's getting bad. We better
Yeah.
start packing it up. Yeah.
So this year was like my brothers and their family, and then me and my kids and my wife at my mom's house, and we just hung out there all day.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
we
nice.
stayed there. It snowed like crazy.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
drove
when's the
home.
last time we had a white Christmas?
It's been a few years.
I guarantee we've never had a snowstorm like this on Christmas. So.
I mean, I was thinking back. Like, I think it's a decade.
Dude,
It
it's
might
been
be,
it's
yeah.
been it's
With
been a
a
long
white
time.
Christmas like that. I mean,
with
we
like
had
like
dark
a dusting
Christmas.
maybe.
Maybe a
but-
dusting, but like we've had like 70 degrees. We've had
Yep.
just rain, just crap, and I was happy with it. I
Yeah.
didn't enjoy doing the driveway, but
Yeah. My neighbor conveniently left, so I had to do his driveway too, and then dig our furnace out because our furnace flue comes out the very bottom of the house.
oh yeah,
Our furnace stopped. It was good.
yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun,
It
man.
was a good time.
Yeah, so like yesterday I decided I got a little lazy and I'm like, you know what? Because it was drifting into my driveway. And I'm like, do I want to clean that up? I'm like, no, I'll just run the car over it a few times to flatten it out. And then I'm thinking to myself as I'm doing it, well,
it just
fuck, it's
gets
going to be
super
straight
cold.
ice. And then people are going to be slipping in my driveway. I'm like, all right, like, you know, the wife and kids. I'm like, fuck. So I go out there with a scraper and I'm out there like scraping ice off the driveway for 3 hours last night. I'm like, I completely screwed myself.
The white tire mounds.
Yep. Oh yeah, big time.
yeah.
And then I went like into the grass like 4 feet, so like my driveway looks like it's extra wide, which is kind of nice.
go.
It's easy for loading the kids in the car.
Right. You know, it's funny you said that about your furnace. So apartment living and not yesterday. Yeah, yesterday morning. So Christmas is done. We were just kind of hanging out in the living room, letting the kids play with their new stuff and all that. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna go get in the shower, and I got no hot water. I'm like, what
Oh
the
no,
fuck?
shit.
So I'm looking at, I'm trying to be a dad here, and I'm looking at the, so it's a tankless hot water tank,
Oh, that's
which
nice.
is
yeah.
cool.
Very nice.
Never had one before, so, and it's putting out this error code. So I'm looking it up, and I'm finding the error code. It's like igniter's not working. I'm like, all right, and it says like could be from the source. So I'm testing the furnace and stuff like that. We got hot air coming in, so we have gas. The gas is active.
Yeah,
right?
it's working.
I can't figure it out, so I put a maintenance request in because I'm looking it up, and this YouTube video says for the hot water tank, he's like, just remove these 38 screws, and then you got to reach in the back there, and like this guy's telling you, be careful because you can really cut yourself on this part, and you got to slide the burner out and clean it. I'm like,
I'm sorry, dude. It's 2020.
Apartment
Can you make
life.
this stuff simple? like, I mean, come on, man. 38 screws.
literally 38.
Yeah, I'm calling for the maintenance for sure.
So I did it. So I
Take
did,
advantage of it when you
I
have the
did.
apartment.
So I put a maintenance request in, and so then we went to her parents' house to shower up. Like everyone had to take showers and shit. Like, so I'm like, all right, this is a pain, but whatever. It is what it is. Could be worse. So we do that, and like today, I was coming here, and I was like, well, I really need to shower. I smell like garbage.
Yeah, I was gonna say something.
So I took a cold shower.
We've been talking about it a lot. We've been texting each other.
Well, at least now I feel so much better than he does.
What a weight has been lifted.
Jeez, oh man.
It's about time. Sorry, man.
So I suffered through the cold shower today so I could get here and everything. And so what the maintenance guy or whatever emailed everyone, because I guess a bunch of people got this, and the snow, all the venting on the roofs of the building was covered up, and the hot water tank has a fail-safe on it, so that way if it can't vent properly, it just shuts down. I'm like,
So they just drop off like an extension ladder for you guys and said, do it yourself.
they just throw it on the front lawn.
Good luck.
There were like 4 heating and air conditioning fans parked into 4 separate driveways in my neighborhood. I'm like, well, it's time to go shovel the flue.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Smart, yeah.
So if you know, that's good because you don't have to call anybody.
Yeah.
Call a handyman. You can just go out there and dig it out.
So hopefully we have hot water when we get back.
I would hope so. Cold showers are good for you, so they say.
Wakes you up.
It does wake you up.
I did it for a while.
Chelsea got mad at me because I got out of there, and I was like, oh, man, it brings me back to Korea. And literally it did. Like,
Well, so I mean, hey, it's those type of things, man.
Wait. You were in Korea?
yeah.
Like not the war.
No,
not the
was
Korean
in the
War.
50s.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. I was like,
You look great, dude.
the way you said it made it sound like you were.
Takes me back to Nam, you know?
Like taking lead.
No, that's the joke because I always, I'll bring something up. Be like, yeah, well, back in the war we did this, and Chelsea's
I was out
like,
there-
you're so annoying.
What was it when I was it fighting the war or saving the world or
Oh,
something
yeah,
like that?
I was hero shit.
Yeah, doing hero
I
shit.
don't know,
Just like
whatever.
just sitting back, rolling our eyes.
But no, literally, we did a training exercise in Korea. This is like 2004 or 5. And we're on a pier, and a typhoon comes in. And like, we're literally, I actually tell the story. I was talking to Nick Ora about it when he was on. Because we were literally, our cots in our tents were submerged in water. Like, the whole place flooded. It was terrible. Like, and we were there for 33 or 34 days. And like the typhoon hit like day 2. So it was just miserable. And so the Seabees came in and built decking on this place, like 8 foot off the ground, like in a day for like an entire, it was amazing, right? But the only thing that couldn't be done is all the plumbing for the temporary showers that they put up, which is garbage. So we had to, they built us these showers where it's kind of camping showers where you just build something and you put a 5-gallon bucket of water up there and you go. Well,
Yeah.
it's freezing. And so for like a month, you're just taking these cold, like no water pressure showers, and so that's why
Those are quick ones.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you're getting in,
learn
in
how
and
to
get
take
out.
a shower in 45 seconds.
Oh
so-
yeah. Did it today. Did good. So you're used to it.
yeah.
It's like doing it. No, I've been there, done that. Smell good, man. You smell like vanilla.
Oh,
And it's not vanilla.
tell you what does smell good.
Yeah, this does smell good.
This
Tobacco.
yeah, this Knob Creek Rye.
It's really good, man.
It's really tasty.
First timer for me.
I haven't had it yet. This is my first.
Good review.
Thanks for bringing it. It's fantastic.
All right, so what was the big gift? What was the big gift for your kids? Because I know you get like the small stuff, and then you get one big thing typically.
Yeah, so my 11-year-old, she was playing with her doll. She has all the electronics. She has, for crying out loud, she has a computer, she has an iPhone, you name it. So this wasn't an electronics Christmas for her. She had a little baby doll. She loves it, like makes noises. I don't know. She loves it. She dresses it up, puts
Just
diapers
another
on
kid
it.
in the house.
She's happy. She loves it.
She's happy. We were watching Christmas movies last night downstairs. She's upstairs
Really?
playing with her doll. So hey,
That's good,
cool.
man. Because
That's what it is.
yeah, what about like? Because I mean, I got my son wanted one thing he wanted most was this Hot Wheels track.
Oh yeah,
The dinosaur-
dinosaur head.
So excited about it, right? That's all he wanted. That's all he talked about. And he opens it, lets a car go down the track maybe once or twice. And it's just sitting in my family room.
Yeah.
Ben loves it. That's
Oh,
Ben's
that's good.
favorite toy. That's all he plays with.
Good.
But Sam's like Legos, man. That's all he wants to do is his
Yeah.
Legos, which is fine. I set up, there's a table in the basement. It's like it's about the size, it's a little bit smaller than these tables, probably 2 of these. And I put those big green pieces on the bottom.
Yeah.
So I made that like the ground so he could build around that. And I mean, he's just been sitting down there for the last 2 days.
That's awesome.
Which is
He's
awesome.
always liked Legos.
He loves
I mean,
Legos,
Gibbs
man.
likes Legos too. So he got some Legos, and then he got his Ninja Bots. Have
Oh
you
yeah,
seen
he
these
was
things?
talking about
No.
the Ninja Bots, man.
So they're like this big. There's like 3 AAA batteries, and so they're kind of like the new version of Rock'em Sock'em
All right.
robots.
yeah.
So, but like you train them. So there's different hand motions that you do in front of them to do different moves, and then you just set them up and they fight.
That's pretty cool.
And like they have different weapons, and so it's like, they get a sword and an axe, and then the other ones there's like a fishing pole with a boot on it, and like there's a tennis racket. Like they're hilarious.
How many of them did he get?
2. So it's
They come with different weapons.
2, and it comes with different weapons.
That's pretty cool.
So they're pretty fun though.
Fishing
Like,
pole with a boot.
yeah. But they swing him around. It's pretty awesome. So he's just been doing that nonstop, and he doesn't like train them, so they do the exact same sequence.
But he
every
loves
time.
it though.
He's like, man, this one always wins. I'm like, yeah,
Well, yeah, you got to train him, buddy.
train him.
It's like, yeah, we'll get to
Yeah,
that.
I'm on a whole different level. So my daughter is 22, and she's pretty serious with her boyfriend, and she wanted stuff for her house that she doesn't own yet.
Yeah,
Right, makes
just
sense.
just yeah.
Pots and pans, pictures, stuff like
She's
that.
getting ready though, man. It's a woman.
It's
in there.
actually smart.
It is. It's
I
good.
give her credit.
It's practical.
It
I
is.
like that.
It's very practical, and that she's a practical person. So she was getting that stuff. She's going to hoard it away. So when they get married eventually and get a house, then
She'll be ready.
She'll be ready.
That's smart.
And then my son built himself a $2,000 computer, gaming computer,
Nice.
and I got him a driver for golf. Golf club.
Oh, nice.
No,
Yeah.
very nice.
I was hesitant for that because if he starts out driving, we got big problems. See what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
He's
That's
20,
true.
He's 21. He's not a little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So that's
Most people can outdrive me
No.
because I go right.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I hit it far, but it goes.
How far do you go right though?
Pretty far.
yeah,
I'm
to
like,
be
I
able
can
to-
get like on the fairway. Like
That's why we love
3
St.
holes
Dennis.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we love
awesome.
St. Dennis because they're lined up, so you could hit it onto
Yeah.
another fairway
I'm
and
gonna
it's
play that one
playable.
next
And then
hole.
come back over.
Yeah, you
I'm
come
gonna
back
play
up,
that one next hole.
Yeah.
and you sit there and you wait.
I'll get it on the way back.
You just walk around, and be like, oh, do the old drop. Oh, here it is. It's like,
Keep
whoa,
an
dude.
eye on that. It's by the big oak.
I watched you drive that.
We'll get it on the
It's by
way.
the oak. It's by the big oak over there.
We'll get it on the way back.
Don't look at it. We're gonna drop it.
You go over there, you can't find it. Like someone took my ball.
Yeah.
I'm not taking a penalty on
Someone
this
took
one.
it, man. Screw that. You're like, hey, mark me down for a 5. Yeah. Stand behind you, like,
Use the old foot wedge.
yep. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I got some golf actually for Christmas. I got a
you did?
2-year
Little Mountain.
Little Mountain. Yeah,
Got my dad that for Christmas.
yeah.
Ian just
What
sent
a
me the link
deal.
yesterday. I'm doing it
What a deal!
for sure.
I wish I could do it. I can't. It's just not
It's kinda
my-
far
it's
for
not
you.
My, well, not even that. It's my schedule.
Yeah.
I play golf early in the mornings on weekends. So
Okay, yeah.
Sometimes I think
'Cause
right after 11.
Yeah.
And then during the day, during the weekdays, I should say, I'm not getting off work till 6, 7 o'clock.
Yeah,
So it's kind
yeah.
of
Doesn't make sense.
I'm gonna try to do.
Well, I was trying to do the math on it. I was like, all right, if I play 5 times there in the next 2 years,
You break even.
It'll at least break even. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like Little Mountain, so
and it's
nice
just
course.
for Little Mountain, right?
It's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a nice course. I haven't played there in
You don't want to walk it,
no.
not with a bag.
I never walked there.
Can you do that? Can you walk courses
can't-
with a bag?
You can
I'm
walk
not familiar.
It. No, you.
Yeah, is it possible?
I didn't know that was an option.
Well, if you take one look at me, there's not too many courses I walk.
Like, sorry, sir, you got to walk this one.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm good. I'll go somewhere else.
Walk?
No, sir. They look at me and they're
I'm
like,
sorry.
"Sir, you cannot walk."
Do you guys have those Segway things at least?
There's zero chance you can make it.
The doctor's not on call today.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh.
Our defibrillator is not working,
Yeah.
and I'm not pumping blood.
Nah, not today. Not today.
Not today.
Speaking of being out of shape, so we talked yesterday about going outside and playing with the kids.
Yeah.
I ended up taking Sam sled riding. last
did you?
night. And went to the place by Squire's Castle,
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
and it was insanely packed. Okay.
It was a good
So we
day
get there,
for it.
and going up the hill, they have like the little rope ladder thing,
Yeah.
but it's all ice. Trying to walk up, and he's not going to make it. So I'm like, I'll just pull you up on the sled. He's 53 pounds,
Yeah.
which was fine like the first 3 times. After like the 10th time, dude, I was just sucking air, man. I could not
bet.
breathe. And he goes, we get to the bottom of the hill, and I'm just laying on the sled. He's like, can we go again? I'm like, I think we're done. I can't breathe. Dude, my legs are burning, lungs are burning. I was in pain. But it was awesome,
By
though.
the end,
man.
you're just dragging him up, and then you just let him go
Yeah.
back down. He's like, all right, there
I
you
get
go.
halfway, just drop him. All right, try to walk the rest of the way with the sled, please. Can't breathe. I was sweating. It was
Oh, yeah.
22 degrees, and I was dripping sweat.
That's
Yeah,
what's tough.
it's the word. Like yesterday, same thing. My dad is, he's 73 years old, so he bought a new snowblower, So he bought it back from Home Depot. He goes, hey, I'm coming back from Home Depot. I got a new snowblower. You want to come over and help me with it? I'm like, yeah, I'll come over and help. Obviously, what am I going to say? No.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I'm good.
No, you're on your own.
I'm good, Pops.
You're on your own. Take care.
Yeah.
Let me know how it works.
Yeah. Call me when you're done. Call me when you're done. All right. I'm good.
So I get to his.
Let
his
me know
house.
when you're on your way to do mine.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, mine's terrible. I don't know if you want to
Load
come
it
over.
up.
Yeah, mine looks like shit. Come on over. So I get to his house. I walk up his driveway, and on the back of his truck is a snowblower in a box.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 21 degrees. Yeah, I am in good shape. So we got the box off and had to put it together, and that was one of those things where I'm sure he just said, hey, I don't think Bill's doing anything. Let's get him over here.
Yeah.
He can put it together. It's okay.
Yeah. He'll take
It'll
care
be
of
fine.
it.
Yeah.
Hey, it's
The
your
hell
time
you
to
have
do your
kids
work.
for?
So yeah.
But my point is, sweating. Just
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When it's
profusely.
cold. Yeah.
And it's cold, and I woke up this morning sore, like I've never done anything in my life. Yeah, it's just,
Trust me,
Isn't that
man.
the worst
I'm like,
feeling?
how my legs hurt this much today?
Isn't that the worst feeling?
I don't want to
Like,
tell anybody, and here I am with you guys.
Yeah. To our million
You got me.
listeners.
Yeah, million plus. Yeah.
See me, and you got me.
That-
Yeah, we
that-
got you, man.
that is
It's
the
all
best,
coming out.
though.
Put it
You
all on
wake-
the table.
You wake up and you're sore, and you can't for the life of you think of why you would be sore.
then
then it hits you, and you're
You're like,
like,
wow, I'm pathetic.
oh, I brought the groceries in. Or like,
Yeah, seriously, man.
something
She did
so
buy 3
miserable.
gallons of milk.
Whew, those were heavy. Those were heavy.
One arm, 3 gallons.
Oh, this milk? Yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I'll probably be outside again today. So I told Ian about this. My father-in-law likes to go big when he buys the kids presents. So he bought Sam a quad, a Polaris Outlaw 50. It's a little,
Like a real quad.
Yeah,
A
like
real
a
quad.
one,
Not like a
50
little battery
cc.
in
no, like this is like a real freaking quad, man. And I'm like, telling Liz, I'm like, what the hell are we going to do with this thing? Where am I going to put it, first of all? Where are we going to drive this thing? Like, he lives out in Chardon, so he's got a big yard and everything. So I'm thinking, like, maybe we'll just leave it there. But I'm
Yeah.
like, I kind of want to bring it home because I kind of want to tear around on it myself. Like,
Yeah, you
but
can,
it's a 250-pound four-wheeler.
Get
Oh yeah.
out of here.
Oh, they're
It's
big.
big,
This
man.
thing's legit.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
they're
it's-
legit.
Dude, he bought his camp. He's got the little helmet and everything. I'm like, so today we're going over there today.
One.
That's actually 2.
Oh,
I
that's
missed the
2?
first one, yeah.
Ooh.
So we're taking him over there
happens.
today, and I'm like,
I can't wait.
Yeah.
oh, it's gonna be fun. So we're gonna let him ride around the yard out
Nice.
there and see how that goes.
Yeah, those things are legit. I remember when I still had my 4-wheeler, Gibbs was probably like 3 at the time, and I was like looking at him. I was like, oh, how much fun would this be? Because he liked getting on the back of mine and going just like up and down the street and stuff like that. And I looked at them like they're expensive.
Yeah.
I spent $8,000 on mine.
Yeah, so they're like the 50 cc's. They're not that much,
They're like
but
two-
they're like $2-3 grand.
Yeah.
like depending on what
This
you
one's
put
like
on 'em.
this one's like a 2019.
But they're gonna
Wow.
like it's crazy because the kid's gonna be
Not really though. He'll be able to ride that thing for a long time.
Really?
yeah,
yeah,
so it's
like,
a good size. Like and
5,
there's a
6,
governor
7
on
years.
Really?
Yeah, and then
All
he'll
right.
grow into something bigger.
Then you could sell it.
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Absolutely, dude. So there's a governor on it too, so you could mess with the
Hello,
speed
governor.
and get it down to like hopefully like 5 miles an hour. Because I'm gonna be chasing this kid around.
Here's what's gonna happen. Here's my prediction. You're gonna end up getting another one. Mm-hmm. Then you're gonna get one for yourself. Mm-hmm. You're gonna be a family of 4-wheelers. You're gonna be
I
going
know,
to like
man.
West Virginia.
He's getting me
Yeah.
started. Well, that's the other thing too. At his house, he has 2 snowmobiles at his house.
phenomenal.
And Liz called him this morning, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just messing with the snowmobiles." I'm like, "Maybe you'll be able to ride one of those today."
Yeah, dude, they're so much fun.
They're so fun, and these things
Yeah.
are insane.
So fast.
so fast,
crazy.
and just no control.
Zero control.
Oh yeah,
Man,
that's
so
fun. I
that's-
miss my 4-wheeler, man.
They're fun, man. There's a guy that I know that he bought his daughter's. He lives out in like Perry or something like that. He's got a lot of property. He's big into like all the terrain, everything. And he bought his daughter's 2 of those Polaris 50s, and like they're about Sam's age. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, I mean,
he'll be
listen,
fine. He'll
it's
be
an amazing
fine. I don't think
gift. Like
he's
Put a governor on it. I mean,
yeah, he'll be fine. And he's got like right now he knows how to control because he has a little 4-wheeler like Power Wheels that he
Yeah.
drives everywhere. I think it goes about 5 miles an hour.
Right.
Because I have to chase him all the time because I can't keep up with him. And I'm
right, but the 12 volts, like you can kind of keep up at least for a little while.
for a little
on
while.
foot.
But he gets ahead of me, and I have to like
Yeah.
sprint up to catch up to him.
Like a battery, that thing's gonna hit a curb and die. Like,
Right,
it's not
right.
going anywhere.
No, he's gonna
This
go.
thing-
He's gonna keep going.
It's gonna go right
This
over the
thing you're
curb.
And I
get
thought
in
about it too
shape.
because I'm like, oh, maybe we'll just take it to my mom's house. She's got a big yard.
Yeah.
Like also she's got a big creek in the backyard.
Not good.
I see him just losing control, going straight into the fucking water.
Honestly, I mean, those things are fun even on the streets. Like your street,
No chance at my house.
but your mom's street, like
yeah.
over there in the cul-de-sac and stuff like
Oh, yeah.
that, he can ride around.
There's
there.
not much traffic at my mom's house.
Yeah.
It's a nice place to like go on the street if you wanted to. We used to
Right.
play street hockey. Remember those days?
Oh, yeah.
Playing the street. Game off. Car.
Game off,
Game on.
Yeah,
So we'll see. I mean, it'll be pretty
that's
awesome.
cool though. I think he'll enjoy that. He likes that kind of stuff, and you know,
Yeah.
he'll like I said, he'll
awesome.
be able to grow into that, and then hopefully he'll really like it.
Yeah. And then Ben's gonna want one, and then
So
Next
what do
one,
you
so
start
on, so-
saving?
Did you have a snowplow on yours?
I did, yeah. Heated grips.
Let me ask you. Serious question. I'm
Yep.
thinking about selling my snowblower and just putting a blade and hanging the blade in the
100%.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the downside to it is they're I think my whole setup was like $1,200, $1,500. So it's not cheap. And the only downside that I remember was I tore up my grass doing it. Because you put the blade
plow
on the ground.
overlap,
Yeah.
goes over.
And like with the snowblower, when you hit the side, you can adjust pretty quickly.
You're
You gotta
going
get
on the
some
four-wheeler.
speed on the four-wheeler to get it to move, especially like if it's a heavy snow.
Put your stakes out though.
But yeah, you put your steaks out. Like once
Wait,
you
did you say
once
steak?
Did you say steak?
I love steak.
Oh, so good. You got me all
I've been
excited.
eating steak and eggs 2 mornings in a row now because we had prime rib
Stop
on
it.
Christmas Eve.
Stop it.
Listen to this. Take a steak. Do you have cast iron skillet?
Oh yeah. Stove?
Have you done it?
Stove and then the oven.
Have you done it?
I've done it.
I've never done it.
Phenomenal.
I need to.
It is phenomenal.
It's so good.
Just pour a bunch of
You do like
like
what,
oil in
5
there, and then
minutes,
put some olive oil, put some
2-3
butter in
minutes
there
on each side.
Yeah, you
just to
sear 'em.
it, and then
But you got to
stick
get
it in
it.
the
The
oven.
trick is you got to get it as hot as
Hot
you
as
possibly.
Yep, you gotta wait till it starts
Yeah,
bubbling,
yeah.
and then you put it in there and just sear both sides, get the edges.
Some
and then,
people do it the opposite way though. Some people will
Warm
put it in
it.
the oven first, and I think it's called a reverse sear. So
Ooh.
you cook it
Cook
first,
it the inside.
and then get
and
it seared
then
afterwards.
At the end, you get the good sear on it on the stovetop.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, it's really good.
I've done that the last 3 times we've had fillets.
Yeah.
and it's
Really
it's
good.
phenomenal. It's a good way to go, and it's quick and easy too, man.
Yeah.
Like then you throw it in the oven.
You don't
So
get the
good.
grill out.
Oh yeah, you don't have to get the grill out. It's perfect for this time of year.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll
What
mark
were we
it here.
talking
We're talking about food here. Well, you said steaks in the
Oh,
driveway,
yeah.
4-wheeler.
I think it's definitely worth it. So it depends on what you like, though. Like I remember growing up, my dad would, when I had to go do the driveway, it had to be concrete. Like
immaculate.
there's no ice. Like we had the little ice. And
chipper.
think about that chipper.
Yeah.
it was like
That's how I was last night.
It was
It's
like-
this big.
Yeah.
12 inches wide.
So you're scraping it, and you get going. You know what the worst was when you start going,
hit a
and you
crack?
hit a crack, and you go right in your chest or your
yeah.
stomach. It's like, oh.
You like Drew Brees yourself?
Oh,
Just
yeah.
Crack 11 ribs.
Yeah, that's what I did last night. I was on the ground like,
Just rolling around, screaming help.
help, help,
So,
help.
so you're not going to get down to concrete with that plow. It's just like if you were to
I
get
don't
like
care.
a truck. If you don't care, that is wonderful.
But another thing too is I have neighbors that are gone. Like
Yeah.
and
And you do
if I'm gonna get it out, it's gonna take 2 seconds to do. You
Yeah.
see
So
my drive.
quick.
You see my
yeah.
driveway's
Right.
as wide as this table.
Right.
Like I can get 4 driveways done in a matter of.
Yeah,
I used to when
it's
I
for
lived at the Morley house. I used to do 2 or 3 driveways, and it would be those were longer driveways, and I would spend some time. But
Still,
so
but you're on
you
the
gotta
quad,
do some
those quick.
backdragging. You gotta
Yeah.
But once you
do it
figure it
right.
out, you
Once
got
you
to.
figure it out, and it's kind of fun too. So, but I would say if you're gonna do it, invest in some heated grips.
Heated grips where it's at, man.
They were amazing. They just put some grips on there, and like you just hit a button, and they were.
That's nice too, because on a 4-wheeler, it's phenomenal. So
Yeah.
like I used my a few weeks ago, we had our power went out, and I have a detached garage. Okay, so I couldn't get into it because I lost the key for the man door.
Oh boy.
So I went to my neighbor. I'm like, hey man, can I borrow a shovel? And you remember that snow a few weeks ago? That heavy ass
That
snow.
was really heavy.
I'm like, hey, can I borrow a shovel? He's like, you'll have a heart attack. You just take my snow blower. I'm like, okay, cool. So I take it, and it's got heated grips. Oh yeah, it was amazing. But your thumbs are on
Cold.
top with the
Yeah.
the levers,
Yeah.
and my thumbs felt like they're gonna fall off. They were ice cold. But
did
on a
you,
4-wheeler, you got your hands like this.
You
Oh,
complained to your
fantastic.
neighbor that the heated grips did not.
I actually did. I took it back. I'm like, hey, this thing's a piece of shit.
Can I just get a shovel like I originally
Yeah,
asked for?
so I could sweat my ass off
It's like,
and
here, you want
have
this
a heart
extra
attack.
pair of gloves?
Oh, yeah, we're in the
Extra pair of
Rockies.
gloves this whole time.
yeah, we're in the Rockies.
I'm gonna kill you. Your hands are
You got that
freezing.
crazy look in your face.
Your hands are freezing. Dude, man.
Oh man.
But yeah, the snowblower is definitely a must have. But I think the quad would be a lot more fun.
I agree.
And just sitting. Like, you don't have to walk.
I mean, the only problem that I ever
hate
ran
walking.
into was thinking I could do too much with it. And so you just got to push too much. And I did.
Oh, you get yourself stuck?
The first year I bent the shit out of the frame. And I actually ended up having to. So there's a bracket
Ooh,
underneath
yeah, I didn't
that
think
holds
about that.
onto it. So I had to replace that. And it was a couple $100. So I learned my lesson. So yeah, just do it nice and easy. And yeah, it's fun.
This is easy.
I'm doing it.
Do it.
Do it.
I like
There we go.
I'm gonna
Boom.
sell
Talk him
myself
into
more.
it. That's
I
how we
like
do it here.
I like it.
Talk you into some awesome stuff. And I like to mark down the timestamp on the talking about food already.
Oh, nice.
Got into steak right away.
Yeah, I like that.
We always talk about food somehow.
Always.
You brought it up.
Shocker.
Well, I
we
did.
always talk about
Somebody
food.
said steak, so I mean, you say steak, you say
what
steak.
what are you gonna do?
Well, yeah,
got
Not
me.
your fault.
yeah, steaks. Come on, talking about steaks here.
Oh, man.
Yikes! So meat. Yeah, we love meat, and we love what's up.
Well, I was just going to say, all right, Christmas was good, right?
It was,
So,
man.
Different. We had a good time. That is over with.
And then we're going to move on to New Year's, which is going to be interesting because
Yeah, is anyone doing anything for New Year's?
I'm sitting at my house.
My neighbor's having a.
It's nice you guys have neighbors
Party.
that are like, you guys all get together and you've been around each other. You don't have to really worry about it too much. And like my family, they're all in healthcare, like my wife's family. And it's just very much like, hey, we can't get sick. Like, we have to take every precaution. It's part of our contracts and this and that. I'm like, okay, fine.
Not to mention you get scared about
And I
them
get
being
it.
at the hospital too, and it's like,
Right.
but they get tested like weekly.
Right. But it's just like, it's just been so different. Like I didn't expect, I guess, the level of precaution, I guess. So, I mean, we're dealing with it. It's fine. I'm not complaining. It's just different, you know?
It is.
It is. But you know what? The vaccine's coming out. I don't know how
Yeah.
effective it is yet. I think we'll get those numbers here pretty soon. But
Right.
My daughter's boyfriend just got the vaccine. He's a paramedic and he works at Metro Hospital
Okay.
downtown. So he just got it and he said, I think there's 2 shots. You take one and then 28 days later you take the other one.
Why does it have to be
28 days
28
later?
days
Come on,
later?
man. That's a freaking
28
zombie movie.
days later. Just
Oh
saying.
my God.
If it's one
That's
day-
There we go.
terrifying. Couldn't
Well,
they just say 29 days?
Yeah, can you
Like,
say
make it-
27? I don't know. Just
Yeah.
I mean,
28.
I don't think it would matter if you
Did you
did
watch
like
that
30
movie?
days.
Have you seen 28 Days Later?
No, you guys are talking way over my head.
That's a
okay.
zombie movie.
So there's a movie called 28 Days Later, and it's
see?
a zombie movie.
That's-
and it's literally about. It's not a vaccine. It's like a.
I don't even remember what happened.
They're doing testing on like those monkeys. Remember? Isn't that right? I don't know, but it's fucked.
That's
up.
Outbreak.
Like,
No, I'm just
it's-
kidding.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. No,
you're
I don't
right.
know.
I don't know.
But yeah, it's,
But
it's a zombie
called
movie.
28 Days Later because once you take whatever it is, like you get infected 28 days
Well,
later.
I'll keep a close eye on him if he starts losing color in his face. And is
Lock the doors.
And is attracted to people's.
Yeah.
Brains.
Human meat.
Yeah.
Got
Human
the taste for
meat.
human meat. Remember that?
Charlie.
Yeah, dude. You guys ate raccoon and you have rabies. They think they have a craving for human meat. Oh, it's so good.
That show's amazing.
Man.
Yeah, I'm actually
Yeah,
interested to see about this vaccine. I'm kind of interested. So I guess it's round 1B or whatever is like schools and like teachers, people working with kids. And
That'll be you.
I don't know. So we've kind of been the redheaded stepchild of the school
Yeah.
world. So child
Well,
care
like day-
centers.
childcare, yeah.
But I don't know so I have no idea if we're going to get included. I would say that we should be. I mean, if you
I would
want
think
the
so.
economy to open back up, people got to be able to send their kids away, right?
Yeah,
So-
because kids can carry it, right? But they don't show symptoms.
Yeah,
Is
it's up
that-
to it's
They
up
should,
in
they
the
see,
air,
yeah, like they're younger. I mean, they're
Yeah.
carrying it, so it's just as dangerous.
but like
Yeah.
for
'Cause they're going
little
home with it.
ones,
They're fine.
they're not even testing little ones.
No.
I know the health department around here is just calling them presumed positives if parents do, because then we get shut down and it's fun.
Yeah, it's good times. It's good times, man.
Watch the money fly out the door, but it is what it is.
One day, get back to normal.
But yeah,
here.
so I don't know. I'm all on board for the vaccine. I don't care. Like,
It's cool to. It's awesome to see it actually happening.
It's happening.
yeah,
It is happening.
yeah.
It's, I
It's-
mean,
yeah,
I'm seeing
it's
people
awesome.
on Facebook. Everybody's like, "Got the vaccine." It's like, oh man, that's awesome.
I would
Our healthcare
probably
people.
be more skeptical if it wasn't for the military. Like I remember just like standing in the line and them just shooting you with like all of the
all the
vaccines.
vaccines.
So I'm like,
Whatever.
You know what? I don't even care anymore. Like it is what it is, right?
I was
Like,
against like the flu shot for a while before I had kids because there was this one year I got the flu shot and I got deathly ill. And maybe it wasn't from the shot, but I got sick as hell, man. Like it's the worst I've ever been. So like for 8 years, I never got it again.
Yeah.
And then like once I had kids, I had to, and it was fine. It was okay. But it was just like one of those things.
There's different
But it's like yeah, and this is like like it's like food. Like if you have like a food. And the day before,
it's
and then
taboo.
you get sick, and you're like, I'm never eating that again because I was throwing up for
Right.
days because I got the stomach bug afterwards, and
It's like gin.
Yeah. I'm sure it wasn't the fact that you were licking public doorknobs or anything.
It was a
He
weird
was-
time for me, man.
He was into that for a while.
It was
There
it was a
time.
thing, man. It was cool, I saw it on
You're
Jackass.
blaming
and
it
I
on
thought,
chicken nuggets from
yeah,
McDonald's.
never eat that again. Did you forget about those doorknobs?
Yeah, nothing ever gets blamed on McDonald's.
Dude, I saw you on an escalator licking the handle all the way up.
Nope. I was looking at each button. I was pushing the buttons with my tongue.
Oh God.
It was like Elf, but I was using my tongue.
Your thumbs were still cold from the snowblower.
On the Empire State Building.
They were in your pocket.
My hands were in my pocket. Well, I don't want to touch anything. I use my
Triple
tongue.
dog dare you.
I don't know. I got the flu somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what
I
that'll
get it.
happen. Fucking McDonald's.
Yeah, chicken nuggets.
Yeah,
snowblowers.
food poisoning. Had a fever.
All right, listen. No one ever blames food poisoning on McDonald's.
Never.
Never.
It's always like that restaurant that you're probably not going to go back to anyway.
went
You're
to
like,
one
yeah,
time.
we'll just call it that. And like
Yeah.
it wasn't the McRib that you ate.
Oh,
You know,
I don't know. If
full
people-
disclosure, I've never had a McRib. Never had a McRib.
Yeah, you know why?
They're not good.
Because they're gross.
Well, it's never been appealing to me. I was like,
No,
nah,
not at all.
nah, I'm good.
But you know what though? The McRib is kind of like Long John Silver's. Like secretly, people love them.
Okay,
Oh, I know a lot
Long
of
John
people who
Silver
love them, yeah.
on 306 has been there since before I was born, and it's still there, and I'm so baffled. I never see any cars there.
Never.
It's there. It's just
But they stay open. People love it.
I don't understand it. I've had hush puppies from there. That's about it. I
Yeah,
think.
hush puppies are solid. No,
That was
but, like
young.
if you go down, we have a daycare over there.
Yeah.
During the week,
Packed.
at lunchtime.
That's so funny.
See?
People are just lined up.
It is.
I don't
it's,
get it.
It's crazy.
That place has been
And you don't see
I've
any
never
of them
eaten there.
anywhere.
No, I don't get it.
like Burger King didn't even make it over there.
Right.
Long John
you're right.
Silver's. Like, come on, man.
there.
What the hell happened? Bravo didn't make it
They
over
got
there.
the market cornered, man.
They do. That and Red Lobster, man. Red Lobster is always packed.
Them cheddar baked though.
Never. I walk in that place and I'm allergic to seafood anyways.
Oh,
but
well,
if
that one.
Yeah, he starts blowing up.
But like my wife loves like crab legs. So I had 1 year, a long time ago, I tried going to Red Lobster to get her crab legs, and I walked in there and I'm just like, I can't handle it. Just call me when it's ready.
Yeah, I'm gonna set the car.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit outside and breathe some fresh air. I don't know how you people do it in here.
Yeah, I haven't been there since I was probably in elementary school. That's fantastic.
Oh man. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. So
Go
this
crab legs
vaccine-
at Euclid Fish.
Euclid Fish. You know where else I got them is Blue Point downtown.
Oh,
Oh,
Blue
yeah.
Point's fantastic.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
She loved it.
Used to be
Seafood Tower.
what's Grand River?
Brennan's.
Brennan's is great, but across the street.
Come on, what's that place?
Wow, how do you not remember the name of this place? It's like the only place on the river.
Place we used to go to all the time.
I know. jeez.
With the floating dock.
Yeah, with the dock, you can just pull your boat right up.
Why can't we think of the name?
Bills.
Pickle Bills.
Pickle Bills.
Pickle
Pickle
Bills.
Bills.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Yeah, there you
Thanks,
go, Bill.
I bring value finally.
There you
Yeah,
go.
here
You
he
guys are
is,
welcome.
finally.
All
Thanks
right,
for showing
my time
up.
is done. Thanks, guys.
All right, hey.
Good time.
It's been real.
Catch you next time.
No, that place used to be amazing. You can go for all you can eat crab legs. And remember, we went there. I think this was pre-kids.
It was Lent.
Yeah, and we went there like us and the wives, and it was just garbage.
It was awful.
It's funny you say that. I took my wife there again. Crab legs. It's like a tradition.
Yeah.
So I take her there on her birthday.
You
Her
just,
birthday's in August.
you just suffer through the hives.
He said whether it was just sipping.
I had a burger. I specifically told him, you can't put a raw fish on the grill.
Yeah.
And then put my burger on top of that.
Right.
Else you're going to be pumping blood.
Yeah.
That's not going to be fun for you. But so she got fish and she got some crab legs, and we sat on the floating thing, and they were cold. They were like just garbage.
Huh? Yeah.
But
I think the only thing that place has is like their location, and that's about
the
it.
thing, though. The location, it could be so amazing.
Here's the deal. In this area, there is nothing on the lake except for Pure W
Isn't that
and the place out in Fairport, and that's it.
Isn't that weird?
It's so weird.
It's such a missed opportunity.
If-
Fairport, like it's starting to have some cooler places going.
Yeah, for sure.
and they're doing a really good job with it. But for years, it's like you'd go to the beach because the beach there is really nice, but there's like nowhere to go other than the beach.
Absolutely.
And now they're starting to. They got
They're
that
starting
ice
to build
cream
up.
place. What's
Yeah.
that place called? Creamery.
Creamery,
something.
yeah.
The Fairport Creamery. Like really awesome.
place is amazing. And
How's
it's like,
Geneva on the lake?
Yeah,
Do you know
China
like
Lake,
Perry?
okay.
Like, Perry is tough.
But out here, like Cleveland
But
area,
like,
even
this area,
downtown
there's
Cleveland.
nothing. Why?
yeah.
It's such a missed
So
opportunity.
the way that everything was built around here was like houses and then like just shit on the water. There's nothing on the lakefront. So it's like Burke, the airport.
Yeah.
That could be like go to like Milwaukee.
Yep.
The beach
Yep.
just stretches
Ever
for
been to
like a mile.
Milwaukee?
And it's
Such an
Never been
underrated
there,
city.
never
it's beautiful. It's
Underrated
clean. It's
city.
so nice, and this beach is amazing. Right on the lake. I mean, off the highway, there's that huge
Yep.
beach.
You mean they take advantage of their?
Yeah, they do. Their lakefront.
They really
Yeah,
do. It's
They don't
amazing.
put an airport
No.
perpendicular to it. No.
So
No,
I did
that's
hear
because you
I
can have
did
air
hear-
shows there, so that's cool.
I did hear that they're tearing down some warehouses in preparation for the draft next year, right on the
Yeah.
lake over there by the stadium,
Yeah.
and
Nice.
they're going to put some stuff in there. So
That's good. I mean,
we'll see if
so
that
that's the thing
happens.
with Fairport too. Is like that whole area where Diamond Shamrock was. It's all like, what do they call it? Brown soil or something like
Yeah,
that. Like
yeah.
you can't use it. So they've been working on cleaning that for forever.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what you could build
be
on
so
that
cool.
land? There's
Could
so
be
much
so cool.
lakefront over there, and then plus all that land over there. They're going to put a golf course there at one point,
really?
and then we're going to put a bunch of shit there. But they can't do it because it's not cleaned yet.
Right.
So like, it's such wasted
Get on it.
property. Did you ever see the pictures of Diamond Shamrock back in like the 70s?
I did when we were going through. It was what's the big festival they do there in the summer?
The Mardi
The
Gras.
Mardi Gras festival. Yeah, and there was like a history. We went to that one restaurant, that diner. That was phenomenal.
Yeah. Oh,
And
Fairport family.
Yeah, the
oh, I love that
Fairport
place.
family. Yeah. But we were going through, and there was like the historical building down there. That's like right by the lighthouse. And we were looking at the pictures of it from back in like the 60s or 70s or whatever, and it looked amazing.
Before the EPA existed. Yeah. There was just like, but you see pictures of people on the beach, and then in the background is like the big factory, and this black smoke is bellowing out all over the place. Like it just looked terrible, man. That place was amazing. Like, I mean, the
it
money,
looked
like
like-
that place was a
yeah,
huge
yeah.
corporation, but it was terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, they just ruined all that property.
Right. Yeah.
You have to look at that property, like look at that land on a map and just see how much there is. It's unbelievable.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's wasted. But yeah, to have a lakefront restaurant would be phenomenal.
So nice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, give it though, like wintertime, like Pure W's one that's like, it's a nice restaurant. It's on the lake. You have a good view.
Yeah.
But something like that Fairport, whatever the hell that place is called, the HTP.
Yeah.
Like you're outside, there's a bar there. Like that's
Yeah.
a cool
Oh,
experience.
it's awesome. Yeah,
That's fun.
See the boats go by.
Yeah. And you can pull your boat up and park and
Although
everything.
my last memory of that place is the NBA Finals.
Oh my God. Well, J.R. Smith?
17.
So, and
Yeah, J.R. Smith
took
just
time out.
literally-
No, he got the rebound and then he runs out. He tries to run out the clock. And LeBron's sitting there like, "What the fuck are you doing? Just put up a lip." And that was game one.
Yeah.
We could
That
have
was
beat them game
yeah.
one. And then it
We
was
should-
just
yeah.
after that we were done.
But remember, we were all sitting out there having a great time. Game was phenomenal.
Oh, we were
It was a
waiting-
nice summer night. Like,
Yeah, it's-
it was-
that's a nice
it was
place.
amazing.
I like
It
that
was
place.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's
my last memory of that
That's
place.
another memory I had from 2007 of Wilby Paninis.
Oh,
The
yeah.
finals.
I was in the shitter.
When we got rolled by the you were.
literally
He was
was.
even having some issues. And it was like 100 degrees there. Typical. Those damn wings ran through them quick.
Did he smell good that day though?
Phenomenal.
All right, good.
Phenomenal,
good.
until
I
he
was
went to the
I
bathroom.
was worried about that.
Yeah, we all were. But yeah, that's another memory I have is 2007 finals.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's when I got. That's San Antonio, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
But it was fun. Speaking of the Cavs, though, real quick, pretty sure we're 2-0.
We are 2-0.
Well,
They went in double overtime last night.
they were huge underdogs against Charlotte.
yeah.
Huge underdogs.
And they won pretty handily.
They were up by 20, and then it got really close.
Oh, did
Which
it?
is shot.
I
Yeah,
mean,
we
I'll
have
be
no
honest,
defense.
I didn't watch 1 second of the game.
I watched
watched highlights.
We were at a little Christmas party at work downtown at a little bar, and we were taking precaution. We were wearing face masks.
Okay, cool. I was going to say, I'm looking at you like, oh, we're here with us.
No, I don't know about you guys. I can't taste anything.
Is there any type of smell to this? Because
This
smells weak.
This whiskey tastes like water.
It's going down like nothing. You see, sit over there chugging it.
Unbelievable.
He's drinking it out of the bottle.
Hey, are we supposed to be wearing clothes during this or no? You guys are looking at me weird. Should I put clothes on?
Yeah,
Ooh, there's a little bit left on the side. I better look that up.
who wants a pour? Anybody? Damn you.
This stuff is smooth.
You guys taste this? It's like water. It's amazing.
No,
I'm drunk.
I watched maybe 5 minutes of
Yeah.
it, but I was kind of glancing up at the score every now and again. It was kind of weird to see us up by 20. I think it was in the second quarter. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, I watched the highlights last night. And we pulled away in double overtime. Looked pretty good, I guess. I mean,
You know,
can't get excited
the
about
problem
it.
with the NBA is like, and we had a stretch of 4 years where it was amazing to watch because we were one of the 4 good teams.
Yeah, but then all of a sudden,
I mean,
here
the
comes Golden
league
State,
is so
Cleveland luck.
Well, but even that, like, let's take being a Cleveland fan out of it.
Okay.
We were watching competitive basketball.
Yes.
The games were fun. You were excited to see, like, you had the team with LeBron and everyone else, and so like there was like prominent people going to the game. It was sellouts, like the whole thing. It was an entertaining product. Mm-hmm. When you have a shit team, which how many teams are there? 31, 32?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
28 of those markets have shit teams.
They have nothing.
That no one's going to the games.
It's so predictable. That's
right.
why
You can pick the finals right now.
right, and that's why I think the numbers on TV are down. Like everything's down with the NBA. It's still a great product. Don't get me wrong, but it's a great product in May and June. And
Right.
Yeah,
that's when it's
leading
a
up to
great-
it's terrible.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You almost have to shorten the season and like put some rules there.
I mean, I don't know if it's the lottery system or if it's just free agency or the
agency.
cap or what it is, but they've messed up somewhere because if there's one thing you can say about the NFL is everybody is interested because anybody can win.
Any
The
given
NFL
Sunday.
set up
Any
to
given Sunday.
the NFL set up to for success. Like at some point you have to be good. The Browns kind of
Well,
the
we
Browns
tested that theory.
the Browns
for
don't
20 years.
that doesn't work for the Browns.
They took a shotgun to their foot.
Yeah, right,
So
right.
many occasions.
Yeah.
We did that to ourselves, but the NFL set up to make teams successful eventually. Like you're gonna have a good team eventually.
Yeah, they want to put a good product. They want to put a competitive team on the field in all 32.
Yeah, you're not gonna see the same thing every year.
Correct, 100%.
Right.
Like, look at the Jets and the Rams last week. You never know. Like today, you have the Jets and the Browns. It's going to
Yeah.
be
Look at the
entertaining.
Bengals and the Steelers.
People are going
Right.
to tune in to watch the Browns play the Jets.
Sure.
Because we're down
Everybody.
12
guys,
32 people.
Yeah, right.
Like,
We have no receivers.
right. Like,
Yeah.
it's
We're gonna have what's this Marky Mark come in and play play
yeah.
receiver.
who's the
Was
team that
movie?
didn't have a quarterback?
That
3
was
weeks ago.
Denver.
Yeah, but I tuned in to watch
Yeah,
that
yeah,
game
that's
because I wanted
entertaining.
to see what happened.
Well, and that's the thing though, is like that the game of football is just so much more entertaining just on the fact that anybody can win. Like you know, like the NBA, if you have one or two guys, you know, superstar and like next like
You have
second
two
tier superstar.
These teams that are making
you
have
can
two
be good.
superstars each
gonna
at
be good.
least. And then like baseball's another one.
Yeah.
Like
They-
you could have a wild card team
There was
go
a
and win the World Series.
there was a stretch in the early 2000s where it was like 9 years in a row or something like that. A wild card team won the World Series. Like, so it's not your 100-win team
juggernaut.
every year. It doesn't matter. Like, you get hot at the right time and you can go. And, and
that's what's
basketball is
amazing about
just
those
not
sports.
that
Basketball
way.
doesn't have it like that.
And I'm a big hockey guy, and I think hockey's the same way. Like
As the
you,
NBA?
you can kind of almost no, completely opposite.
as-
like you can pick who you think's going to be in the playoffs. You might be 50% right,
Okay. Yeah.
and then the playoffs are so competitive and so physical
Yeah.
that one injury can throw
That's
off.
it. That's it.
Well-
That's like football. Yeah, football and
you
hockey,
never
same
know.
thing. Because
Yeah,
the injuries.
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of up in the air.
Yeah.
That's why it's scary with football, man. It's like you'd be rolling, and all of a sudden you lose a receiver.
Well,
the quarterback.
Yeah.
Running
well,
back.
I mean, especially this year with like COVID stuff, like we're seeing like the Browns
This week,
today
yeah.
have
Yeah.
nobody on
I
the
mean, a lot
roster.
of and you can't even get upset about it. I mean, you can. It sucks,
Well, it
but
would
it's like,
just
but
be
everybody's
the
going
most-
through it.
What are you going to do?
It would be the most Cleveland thing ever to like have the team that's like built right. You know what I mean? It's not just like thrown together
No, yeah.
and like even like the 2007 team that won 10 games and didn't end up making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like
They're built.
they had no business winning 10 games
No.
that year.
It
Like
was-
they
it
were
was-
good, but they weren't like
weren't that
They
good.
weren't built.
No.
Like we just got lucky that year.
They were an
This
8-8
team
team.
seems like it's built. Like the next couple of years, we should have a window where
Yeah.
we're competitive. You know?
Listen, I think this team right now that we have can beat any team on a Sunday, and I didn't think that 6 weeks ago. Like it's
That
I can't-
bye week, which is why I think all the credit in the world goes to that coaching staff. Like, yes,
Stefanski's
there's
a
talent, but there's talent in every single team, right? Like it's pro football.
Yeah.
Freddie Kitchen's going to do the same thing this year that Stefanski did this year.
No chance. No chance.
No
That's
chance.
Why, and you saw the adjustments that were made during that bye week. I mean, think about it. This dude came in, didn't get an off season, right? Like COVID took. He's doing fucking Zoom meetings with all of his players and trying to install a brand new
and
offense,
yeah.
brand new defense. You know, I think our special teams guy is the same from last year, but yeah. I mean, he did all of this, and I don't know if it's just leadership or if it's
It just seems to be his
buying
whole
in or what
temperament.
it
It
is.
is.
You know what? I think it is. It has to be leadership
Yeah.
because the principles of leadership just come into play with everything he says, like the accountability piece.
Yep.
You know the next man up piece. You know,
Yep.
the Belichick thing.
Yep.
Like he's a
You see a
proven
change-
leader. He always has been.
You see the change in like Baker he goes with the coach. Like the
Right.
temperament of the coach is how he is, right? So I mean, look at Kitchens. Like he was a hothead. He was always being a smartass with the media and everything. So then Baker was as well. But now you have Stefanski, who's just like a low key guy,
we were just talking about that.
level headed,
Yep.
and Baker's following suit.
And
so he's
everybody
being,
else is, and it's
and
funny
everybody
because-
else is, yeah.
Did you watch that penalty last week? I know this isn't a sports like show, but
No, we talked about
like Landry
Oh, yeah.
caught that ball, and
Yep.
there was a push and like some jawing
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
right. So he gets back to the sideline. It was a quick snippet on TV where Stefanski.
Stefanski's talking to him.
He didn't even say anything,
He didn't
right?
say anything. He just looked at him.
Yeah.
And Jarvis just threw his hands up.
Yeah.
I got
I
you.
got it.
I
Yeah,
got it.
My
he
bad.
knows
Like,
because this
he-
guy, it's
yeah.
like accountability.
It's accountability.
Yeah.
Like everybody has to be for the team. You can't be. And I
love
what,
that, man.
That's what makes it great.
The
Look at
thing
the
about that, too,
Steelers.
yeah.
Like a Tomlinson. Like he runs a tight ship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, dude, he's a great coach, man. He's phenomenal. I love that they've lost 3 in a row. God, do I love that.
Well, they should.
They should have never lost to the Bengals,
All right,
but I
here's a
love
question. Here's a question.
it. Okay.
If there was 5 quarters, they wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Right. Here's the question. So today, what time is it? 12:30.
12:32.
So at the 1 o'clock game, so Pittsburgh and Indianapolis play. Pittsburgh wins, we clinch our spot, assuming that we beat the Jets. Do we want the Steelers to win today? Or if they lose,
we have the
we
potential
could
to
play
win
them next week
and have the potential
for the
to.
division, but you're not guaranteed. To
I
play
don't.
our
I don't want to get cocky. You know, I've been keeping a level head with everything this entire time. Like I'm trying not to get too high on everything. Like my prediction was 11-5
spot. Yeah.
at the start of the season,
True.
and
It was.
I
It's
saying that I
recorded.
was like, holy shit, I don't even know what the hell I'm saying right now. And
Pittsburgh
even when we
loses,
start getting
like-
good, I'm like, I don't want to start getting too ahead of myself. But now I kind of think that
How
would be
about
kind of
this-
fun. How amazing would that
That's
be?
what I'm saying. Like, how about this scenario right now? The Pittsburgh Steelers are in disarray.
Yeah.
If you listen to any news, ESPN, they're all saying they're in disarray.
Yeah.
So now you think, okay, Pittsburgh, if they get their butts handed to them today,
Mm-hmm.
right? They are that locker room is going to be a complete shit show. Right.
True,
So
true.
then we come in with now we have 4 receivers, hopefully, and we have,
yeah,
we're
right.
not
Hopefully.
missing 38 people.
Right.
So now we come into and then now there's something
At
to play.
home.
And plus, I think now there's such big a division. I don't know what really. I'm not as far as I don't really know like what happens if you win the division. You get a bye or something. I think
No,
That's-
it would just be higher seeded.
higher seeded.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
so you might win your first or
You're gonna
gives you a
play.
better
You're
chance.
gonna
Gives you a better
you're gonna
chance.
have a better path to the
All right.
AFC Championship.
But I think it renews the rivalry, which is desperately needed.
yeah.
yeah,
And I
for
think-
sure.
I think if the Browns come in hot and they're gonna have a chip on their shoulder, what
Sure.
happened to them last?
Sure.
Yeah.
the last time we played them.
Well, the last 20 years.
Right.
For sure, man.
And I think with the Myles Garrett helmet throwing thing, I
Yeah.
think there's gonna be some bad blood in that.
I gotta tell you, I want it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want the Steelers to get smoked today,
Yeah.
and I want the game next week to get flexed to Sunday
Yep.
Night Football.
Yes.
Make it big,
for
man.
the division, win or go. Take it or go.
Yeah.
Take it or go home. I mean, and to be fair, there's still a path to the playoffs, even if
If the
if
Steelers
lose
and-
today.
yeah, right.
Like we could still get in. Like
Yeah.
it's not like a
But that scenario, though,
but it's pretty
for next
close
week
to
would be
it.
amazing.
It would be amazing. That ticket would be the hottest ticket in town.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Most
that's what I want.
must see TV right there, man. That's
mean-
that's a game where everybody's gonna be watching.
People just take Monday off.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
take Monday off because they know they're just gonna get slaughtered.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I love
everyone's
getting
getting slaughtered.
You like
Oh,
it?
yeah.
I love getting slaughtered.
I mean,
I mean, yeah.
yeah. It's just, you're missing some knob.
Ooh.
yeah. No. I mean, on one hand, it's like we've been waiting to be back in the playoffs for 20 years or since 2004 or 2002, I think.
Yeah.
So 18 years.
hungry.
So on one hand, it's like just get in, but on the other hand, it's like, dude, I've waited this long. Let's
make it
have
something
it
good.
Let's have it be
Yeah.
amazing.
It's been fun, man.
There's no player on that team that wants to sneak into the playoffs just to say, okay, we made it to the playoffs. There's nobody on that team.
No,
That's not the
no.
goal.
Their mindset is we can win the division.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
Well, and that's the other thing. Like, all right, so from a team psyche, like, all right, we got in because Pittsburgh lost.
Yeah, see that? Yeah.
Or you get in because
you
you
did
beat
it.
the shit out of them on Sunday Night Football to like that was you're in control of your own destiny. You do it.
Right.
You get in. Aren't you a lot hotter of a team then when you go in and play whoever you have to play? I don't know.
I agree.
And if we win the division, it could then be a home playoff game.
Oh, can you imagine
So that's
Cleveland?
the-
Can you
that's the
imagine Cleveland?
advantage.
Also, 2020.
Yeah, right.
Who would have thought? When we could be tailgating and going crazy downtown.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you could have 12,000
Dude,
people.
I'm
in
telling
there.
you right now, we win the division, we have a home playoff game. How many people are getting arrested for tailgating when we're not allowed? I mean, I bet the city goes nuts.
Over
And
under,
I'm not, like,
over under on 4,000.
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Just have they just have buses loading people in.
Or does the governor and the health department like put an exception out like they did for Monday Night
Monday Night
Football?
Football. They're like, well, we weren't supposed to have anybody here. We have a curfew of 10 o'clock, but it's Monday Night Football,
Browns
so let's
are
get
good.
12,000 people in there real quick. Because this doesn't usually happen. Thanks, Mike.
We'll deal with it later.
Yeah, fuck it.
I don't know, man. I just think it would be so much fun to see that scenario
It's just amazing to
play
be
out.
even having that conversation.
Yeah.
This conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah. If you would have told me at the beginning of the season, we have a chance to go 12 and what? 12 and
Yeah, we could be
3,
12 and
12
4.
or 12 and 4.
12 and 4,
12
yeah.
and 4. Yeah, 12 and 4.
we have
Shit,
a
we
chance
lost
to go
4.
12 and 4.
Yeah.
There's an
I mean,
opp-
that hasn't happened since like 1986.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. And I mean, especially after week 1, right? Like week 1, I was so pumped for the season. We just get
disappointing.
fucking steamrolled by the Ravens, right?
We're like, oh, here we go. Typical
Like,
Browns. That was so painful.
That was rough. I got slaughtered that day.
That was a fun day.
Well, we're not doing anything. I'm just gonna start throwing them back.
We're like, and it just sucked watching that game. It's like, we just put a different game on. It was so
Yeah.
painful, man.
Yeah.
was-
We
And
went
then you look at their
outside and-
schedule. After that game, you look at their schedule. Like they have Indy coming up.
Yeah.
Like, there's some tough games
Yeah,
coming up.
right.
And we ended up
Dude,
winning them.
But again, that leadership going in and saying, "All right,
next game.
let's break it down 1 week."
Yep.
Here's
I
what we
love
gotta
I
do.
love that
Here's what we
mindset
gotta
that
do.
they have, man.
And it's
Like,
it's super cliche, but it's so true.
Look what they did against the Ravens the last time we played them.
Yeah,
Two different teams.
What a game! What a game!
They're saying
fucking
that's
defense, man.
They're saying that's the game of the NFL so far
For sure
this season.
Yeah.
Well,
for
you know what's
sure.
nice to see is everybody's so down on Baker, and I've been there. Trust me, I'm one of them.
I
You know, but the last 3 games, he's been
It's been since week 8.
he's been
Since
unbelievable.
the-
But
since
I mean,
the
these
bye
last
week.
3 games,
But
so
these
he's been
last-
like,
yeah.
dude, he's damn near perfect.
His numbers show that he's like a top 3 quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't understand quarterback ranking. All I know is if you're over 160, you're doing something right. So
Yeah,
he was
right.
He's been.
So
Doing
I remember when he was like 0.
Yeah.
Last year was a nightmare.
Yeah.
How many
Again,
interceptions
he
did
had
he have
Freddie
last year?
Kitchens, who
Yeah.
only and like, look, I was super excited about Freddie Kitchens.
We all were. We're like, he was calling the plays the
He
year
looks
before.
like a good old boy, and like he's gonna get these boys
said the right
ready
stuff.
to go. He said all the right things. You know, he didn't have a freaking suit and a tie to his interview, so you know all this kind of stuff like falls in place into storyline, and it gets everyone excited. At the end of the day, he cared more about his players liking him than he did coaching a football team. Like Stefanski seems to me the guy that
leadership.
like
That's
when you
leadership.
got to go knock on the door to like talk to coach, you're
It's
like,
it's like you're like a kid going to the
Yeah,
principal's
I don't
office
want
in high
hey,
school.
coach, I got this thing I got to talk to you about.
But at the same
You know what I
time, it's
mean?
like, but at the same time, they're all like
Healthy fear.
They could relate to him too because he's a younger guy.
Yeah. What is he,
But they're-
38,
Yeah, he's
37?
yeah, he's young, man.
Pretty young, yeah.
And I mean, the players love him
Yeah.
and they respect him.
Listen,
Well, I think the players love a coach
Respect.
more and respect them more when they're winning.
When they're
'cause
winning.
it translates to win.
Absolutely,
So,
because
like,
it's
the
easy to hate your coach
discipline-
when you're losing.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
You're like, it's his fault.
But if you're not a strong leader, like I think Freddie Kitchens is a great guy. Like listening
Yeah.
to him talk. But
I would love to hang out with him.
Right, I'd
Play
love to
some
have
golf, have
right.
a couple beers.
Love it.
Yeah,
But
that'd be
he's-
amazing.
But he's going to be a career assistant coach. He doesn't have that leadership quality.
Did you hear his press conference before we played him?
Freddie? No.
Yeah, completely different guy.
Oh, really?
It's like they got into his head. Like they talked to him like, hey, you can't say dumb shit like you did in Cleveland. You can't sit there and
well,
say
that's the thing is, though, I don't even know if he said dumb
no. He
shit.
didn't say stuff, but he was short with everybody.
Yeah, he was.
and
yeah.
then he, like
He's
the
like, I
whole
don't know.
whole Pittsburgh's started it shirt and everything. Like
yeah.
just stupid things that you shouldn't do in the media.
That
like
was
that.
to be liked, right? Like,
Yeah, but it was to be liked. But at the same time, You got to be like, hey man,
wasn't
you
good
can't do that.
You're not here to
Right.
be liked. You're not here like
Right.
No,
and
you need to be a
coaching,
leader.
You're not here to make friends.
No, that's not what it's about.
No,
Well,
it's about wins.
we were talking about Little Mountain, the golf thing, and so we had Jimmy Hanlon on here that was last year.
Last year,
Yeah,
like around
geez.
Christmas. Oh,
And,
yeah, November.
He said that he got to play golf with Freddie Kitchens for his show or whatever.
Nice.
And he's like, dude, he was so much fun to play. I believe it. I believe that he was a ton of fun to have on.
He's probably an awesome
and
guy.
play golf with and shoot the shit and just whatever. Just don't know if that's the best formula for a football coach.
No,
you know,
it's not.
No, you just don't
or
have
at
it.
least a head coach. Like
No.
maybe, and that's okay. Maybe he should
be a tight end coach.
a tight ends coach,
Right.
or
He's
even a
career
coordinator,
assistant
where
coach, coordinator.
Yeah.
where you don't have to be that leadership guy. You're
Well, then
just
he also
putting in the numbers.
And he also
Because
wanted to
you're
go in there and
X's
just take over everything too. He wanted to be the guy. Like he was like, I'm calling everything. I'm doing this all
Well, and I
myself.
don't blame him, by the way, for taking the job. Like,
No.
you
No,
gotta take the job.
We're gonna say no. Like this
Yeah.
is it, man. This is what you've been doing. This is
Set
what,
up,
this is what you're
like-
working for.
He's set up. He's still getting paid for.
But do you look at Freddie Kitchens, like somebody like Freddie Kitchens, even when he was like being interviewed and he was announced being the head coach of the Browns? Do you look at him like you look at like a Belichick or a Tom?
No.
No.
Like it's just
There's nothing inspiring about
Right.
it.
No,
I
he's
look-
like,
I look at Stefanski.
you don't wear orange
he's-
and brown, you're not-
Stefanski's in the shadows. You know, his if you ever his interviews are very kind of short and to the point.
You could just tell he's smarter than everybody that's talking.
And he's
to
not
him.
he doesn't get too excited.
Yeah.
No.
You know,
He doesn't get ahead of himself and
Right, like hey, Landry had a hell of a game. What do you think about his game? Is he improving? Is he falling into the offense? Yeah,
all of
thought
our
he-
guys are
I
doing
thought he
a
had
really good
I
job.
thought he had a great game.
Yeah.
yeah. It's like
That was it.
okay.
I thought he had a great game.
Okay. And I love
that's
it.
Just great, man. Like I don't know.
when we
It's easy to sit here when you're what are we 10-4?
yeah.
It's easy to sit here at 10-4 and say what a good job he's doing and all that kind
True.
of stuff. But it is what it is, right? Like you play the schedule that you have. You deal with the players that you have. You deal with freaking COVID policies and
Yeah.
Zoom meetings and player. Myles Garrett was out for 2 weeks. Like all that stuff.
Chubb
You
was
deal-
out for
Chubb was out for 6 weeks,
yeah.
right?
I mean,
Like he's dealt with all of this stuff, and you can't say that he's done anything less than a fantastic job.
and then like you sit there and you have people who are like, oh well, like the media is like, oh they only beat shitty teams. It's like no, we beat the teams we need to beat.
Well-
You beat the teams you're supposed to beat because it's the NFL. You can lose anytime. You beat all the teams that you're supposed to beat, and it doesn't matter if they're good or bad.
I mean,
It doesn't-
Tennessee's not a bad team.
No,
Indianapolis
that is-
isn't
they're
a
a good
bad
team, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, they're not. They're not
They're
at
good
all.
teams.
And even the shitty teams we beat could beat us. It's
Cincinnati
the NFL.
was a dogfight.
Absolutely, dude.
The last time
Yeah,
we
Jeez,
right.
oh my, dude.
when
Dude,
what's his
Burrow's
name?
that kid is.
I kept telling everybody,
done for
Burrow's
these
is
He's done, yeah.
he's a real
It
deal.
sucks, man. He's like that
Yeah,
kid's
good.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's going to be next year. The toughest division in
This
football.
division. I mean, I think it is now, but like it will be for,
Like Tom
for
said.
a long time to come.
We're in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
right,
right.
yeah.
No, it's in the kitchen. We're in the kitchen. We like it hot. We're to be in the kitchen. And somebody's like, "Hey, does that mean is he talking shit towards Cleveland about Freddie Kitchens?"
sure. Yeah, for
Because
sure,
it was the
yeah.
week of the Browns too.
Yeah, yeah, I like
Oh,
it.
it was so good.
Oh man.
when he's yawning. Remember he's yawning.
Yeah.
Landry did it in the end zone. Then they proceeded to
Yeah.
Yeah.
kick the crap out of him.
Yeah, you know.
That was a brutal game, man.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, that's what it is.
So, tell us about your kids real quick.
Yeah, we should probably do that.
How many
So,
kids do you
I have
have?
3
What makes
kids.
you a
Oh, yeah,
dad?
we never did.
What makes you a dad, Bill?
So, full disclosure, we haven't done a podcast in a few weeks, holidays and all that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah.
you know.
So my kids, I have, like I said before, my daughter Allie. She's 22. She's going to Cleveland State in her last year. Actually, she'll graduate here in about a year.
Nice.
My son Zach, he's 21. He's the one I got the driver for and is raising and
Nice.
kick my ass in golf.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's cool.
So that's neat.
Good luck.
They built a $2,000 computer.
At least she'll be in a cart.
He bought a computer. Or he put together a computer.
That's awesome.
All right. So I've never like I've always been a console gamer. Like I've always liked
Yeah.
to play. Like I think that we grew up when like you saw the progression of like gaming, right?
Yeah.
Especially from a console standpoint. It just kept getting better and better and better. And like I have a lot of fun doing it. I've had no aspirations of building like a machine.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy what you spend on that kind of stuff.
Oh, it's insane. And then, so he did that. He's working at Amazon right now, just hating his life because right now is obviously the busiest
Oh,
season
that's rough,
of
yeah.
the year. And then I have an 11-year-old daughter, Emma, who is in 6th grade, and she's at Willoughby Middle. But
Okay.
of course,
Yep.
really, she's
At home.
at my kitchen table.
Right.
Yeah. So
Are they
She's
going
at
back?
home middle.
what's that?
They should be going back second week of January.
That's what. Yeah. That's
Yeah, I
what
think that's the
is.
plan. Yeah. I know this school stuff has been tough, and I've actually said a couple times I'm thankful that my kid that's doing virtual learning is in kindergarten.
Yeah.
Because it's kindergarten, and I don't want to downplay kindergarten, but
Yeah.
it's not 6th, 7th grade where these are some skills that you really need to learn. So how's that going? Like, do you think that she's getting what she needs to out of school, or has it been?
Yeah. It's tough.
I guess
think
it's hard
she's-
to tell. It's probably something you figure out later down the road.
It's frustrating for me because I'm working from home, and when she has internet connections or if she doesn't get something, then the teacher's not there to give her attention.
Yeah.
So hats off to these teachers, by the
That's
way.
what we
They
said.
do
We
a
said,
ton.
man, God
They do
bless
a
them.
ton. So she's asking me, "Hey, Dad, what hemisphere is this?" And I'm in the middle of a phone call with somebody, and so that's tough. And I think she is getting the most that she possibly can. She's a bright kid, and she's kind of, but I do see her kind of fading away from the computer at times.
Yeah, I think it's so easy to because you're so bored. You're sitting at your house all
And
day.
they're not being supervised.
No.
I'm not there.
Right.
So, and the teachers, they can only do so much. They try to randomly call on people. They do a great job.
You do what you can, and I mean, God bless those teachers, man. What they're going through is insane.
And if you talk to any teacher, that a lot of people say, "Well, these teachers, man, they get 2 months off, and blah blah."
No,
I'm
dude,
like,
that's tough work.
These teachers want these kids in the classroom, eyeball to eyeball. That's why they got into the
Because
profession.
you can keep control of them. I mean, I think it was last week we sent my kids to my in-laws' house. So they're doing their mobile learning over there, and I have a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old. So Ben's doing preschool and Sam's doing pre-K, and the teacher accidentally made Sam the host of the class. It's an accident. She hit the wrong button.
Yeah.
Sam is not paying attention. He's over playing with the curtains. My mother-in-law's working with Ben, who's doing preschool, so he's just fucking around, and he's the host of the class. And he's not even paying attention. I mean, the kid's just doing whatever because he's bored. I mean, he's just sitting in a room all day trying to look at an iPad and listening to a teacher talk. It's like blah blah blah. There's toys all around him. His brother's in the other room doing something. The TV's on in the other room. It's like,
I mean, think about
that's tough, man.
Reactions.
Think about adults that had to make this transition. I know you've been steadily going to work, but you were
Yeah.
doing some stuff from home for a
Yeah,
little
absolutely.
while, at least
Half days.
in the beginning, half days, whatever. I know I've been staying out of the office as much as I can. And that's just different, right? And
We're not teachers, man. We don't know how to do
there's
this
times
shit.
where I'll have 4 meetings lined up back to back to back, and by the last one, I'm literally not paying attention to you.
Right,
I've been sitting in front of this freaking computer and trying to pay attention, but the reality. So now we're gonna ask these 10, 11, 12-year-olds to learn the building blocks for
Well, that's
math,
what's
English.
Also
science.
scary about it is last year when the whole pandemic hit, in March, those kids were just rushed. Think about seniors.
Right.
Or just high school kids
Yeah,
or college.
we talked a lot
you're
about it, yeah.
You're just boom, get out of here. You're done.
Right.
Push them through. It's at this point, it's
You're
whatever.
over. It's
Hands are
over.
tied. Yeah, it's over. Go ahead and here's your diploma. You don't get that last 3 months of school, regular school. And I mean,
It's sad, actually.
it is really
You
sad.
can't graduate. The prom was canceled.
The sports, the winter sports,
Sports are
and then
canceled.
spring
Yeah,
sports.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
dude, these poor kids. My cousin's son is a senior, and he's a phenomenal football player. It's his senior year, and he got to play 1 game this year. It's dude, that's your senior
Sucks,
year.
man.
No dances,
Yeah.
none of that fun shit. No parties.
So on one hand, yes, that stuff is all awful, and it's experiences that they're going to miss out on and things like that. On the other hand, I don't know, part of me says at the end of the day, as an adult in a functioning society, prom doesn't matter, right? And yes, those are experiences.
That's easy
that are
to say
super
for us
fun.
that we've done that, and but for a kid, that's that means
It's devastating at that time.
absolutely. But you'll look back
We'll
at
look
it at
back
some
on
point and be
it
like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
But still,
At the
it falls
time.
Yeah, at the
somewhere
time,
in
it
the
sucks.
middle where
I agree.
all right, it is what it is. It sucks. No, I mean, none of us asked for this, and we're all trying to figure out the best way to navigate it, and I get it. I don't know. Like I'm trying
You
not
put
to.
in perspective. You put in perspective. I mean, there's generations before us that had it way worse.
Sure.
To miss a prom, suck it up.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
it's not that
Right.
big
They're
of a
not getting
deal.
drafted.
Exactly,
Exactly.
You're
that's not
not
happening.
going to war.
Right.
You know.
I mean, back in Korea,
Oh, for Ian, for example,
This Ian guy.
this guy just saving the world.
Sheesh, looks so good for.
He's a commando.
Taking lead in the 50s.
Yeah,
Commando.
I mean,
No,
one of my favorite movies.
But I mean, that's what I probably try to keep my kids in perspective. Listen, here's the deal. It sucks, right? You
It
can't,
does.
Yeah.
Can't like my, you can't hang out with your boy. You can't go to their family. Maybe you got to wear masks somewhere. You don't want to go. You got to do everything. So I understand it, especially when you're 21, 22. Come on.
Yeah.
When
Yep.
it's
Trust me, man.
It's like
You-
the
you-
social peak of your life. right?
Absolutely.
So like it's tough for them. But I'm like, listen, guys. It's number one is temporary. Any problem in life is usually temporary.
and you're not alone in this.
And you're not alone. We're all dealing with it.
Right.
You're not alone because like, it's one thing if you're stuck at home and you can't. You see everybody else out doing those things, and you're
Right.
stuck at home and you're like,
Right.
I can't. That's a killer. But when
We're
you're not
all
the
in it.
only one doing it, it makes it a little bit easier.
And then you got to look at the positive. So what positive came from it? Well, listen, they're home with me. I get to spend time with my kids. I get to have a few beers with them. I get to hang out, get to know what they're doing, get to know their boyfriends and girlfriends better. So there is some positives to it.
Absolutely, there's a lot of
So
positives.
you just gotta, it's all about perspective, and it's temporary. Like
it's
Steve,
temporary.
It's there's gonna be we're 6 months, maybe 10 months away from like this kind of being hopefully
yeah.
kind of being
Seems so far.
I know,
But you're right.
but you figure by the time we are going to get the vaccine, they're
To
talking
actually be better,
they're talking summer, maybe fall. So
Yeah.
Right.
we're some time away, but there's light at the end of the
But
tunnel.
there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Before it was like it was just like we don't know when this is going to end. We don't know when we're going to get a vaccine. This is going to be forever. Like
Right.
we didn't know what to expect. So yeah, it sucks right now, but we're all doing it and we're all surviving. And but there is a lot of positives, like you said. I mean, I found a lot of positives in this whole thing.
Yeah.
I have two.
Look,
Going back to being crazy again might be overwhelming. You having to be at parties every weekend.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about how like we used to complain, like especially in the summer, right? Like the summertime.
You're excited
it'd be
about the summer.
Friday, like at 2:00, you're getting ready to get off work, and you're like, "All right, man, it's the weekend." And you're like, "God damn it! I have 3 birthday parties. I have this thing that I got to, work thing that I got to go to Saturday night, and I got a wedding on Friday night, and your whole weekend's already booked. Like, there's no relaxing time.
Your summer's booked,
and we would bitch about that. Mm-hmm. And now it's like,
Can we please go to a wedding?
I'll do anything to go have a drink with people I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to go to a packed bar.
Yeah, right.
We haven't done that in
Forever, right? So, I mean, you're right. I think it's good to look at the positives. I think it's good to have, and the other thing is perspective of the actual gravity of what we're dealing with, right? Like, and I don't want to like overstate it, but this is kind of a big deal in history.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is something that people will probably talk about. And whether it's warranted or not doesn't matter, because the reality is that we shut everything down, right? Whether we should
it's a
have or not,
global
like,
pandemic. This is like
It's serious stuff.
Yeah.
Serious stuff.
the argument can be made that we shouldn't have, whatever. I don't really care. Like, it is what it is. The reality is that we did, and
It's gonna-
right or
it's
wrong,
gonna be one of
we'll
those-
Monday morning quarterback it afterwards,
Right.
and that's fine.
Right.
But this is what we did, and we made the best choices with the people that we put in position to make those choices.
what are you going to do?
And-
Who's going to be able to make those calls?
and
Can you
it's-
imagine being in that
I don't wanna
situation,
do
that
it.
position to have to
Something
make
that
a
we've
call?
never experienced before
Yeah.
in the human race.
You could say,
Right.
hey, this person, wrote this book about like this happening. It's like, that's fine, but do you really know what it's like?
Right.
No, it doesn't. Nobody knows. It's
Yeah,
like,
no one wants to make
it's-
those
that
decisions.
happens.
You're
and you're like,
affecting millions of
you're like, holy shit, how the hell are we going to handle this? And I mean, I can't
No
even
one
imagine.
knows.
Nobody does. Who knows what the right call is?
No, you don't know.
Like I said, I can't imagine being in that position. No, thank you.
It's going to be in history. It's going to be marked as COVID, just like it was when
the Spanish
fear
flu.
Spanish
was-
flu.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
all that stuff kind of happened.
28 days later.
But now we actually
That's coming up next, man. That's coming up next. It's the next thing.
get 2 shots 28 days apart.
That's insane.
Let's
to
pick a
me.
day. I don't know. I just watched a movie last night called 28 Days Later. Oh, let's go 28 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, 28
That
days.
sounds good to me. That's a
Yeah.
good number. Come on.
Want to talk about movies real quick?
I sure do.
You're a big movie guy, right?
No.
No?
You were
at
quoting
all.
movies.
I quote 2 movies, Dumb and Dumber and
Classics.
Big Lebowski. Other than that, I'm kind of dead.
All right.
But
Maybe
let's
we won't
talk. Let's talk movies. No,
All right.
because if you talk movies, it interests me. I'll
All right,
watch
so
it.
here's the thing. So I like movies. I'm a big fan of the superhero genre. Like,
Like Marvel.
Yeah, I like all those movies, right?
Not DC.
Winter Soldier in Cleveland.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. There's a couple of them filmed in Cleveland, actually.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The first Avengers or the second Avengers? First ones, yeah. Anyway, so last night the kids were exhausted. Christmas and all that kind of stuff, and so it was like 6:30, and Chelsea's like, "Let's start bedtime now." I'm like, "I'm in,
Jackpot.
Let's do it." So we did some baths and stuff like that, and cold water baths, and literally, because they
Baths.
dude, they wouldn't say no. They couldn't understand that there was no hot water. I'm like, all right, if you want to do it, that's fine. And
Boil some water.
They didn't give a shit.
Boil some water.
They didn't care.
No.
I'm like, all right,
Kids.
It's like going in the pool.
Kids are so
Anyway.
resilient.
Yeah. So
That they are.
anyway, got them in bed pretty early. It was like 7:45 or something like that. They're both in bed, out for the night. Chelsea's like, "You want to watch a movie together?" I'm like, "It's amazing. We haven't done that in a long time." So the new Wonder Woman comes out,
Yeah.
and we're like, "Okay." The first one was pretty decent. Like, it was
Yeah, it was a
fun.
good movie.
This is 2.5 hours of garbage that I will never get back. It is so.
That's so
bad.
disappointing. I was kind of pumped. I was gonna actually text you yesterday and be like, "Hey, can I get your HBO Max password?"
I mean, you can have it.
No, I'm good.
I'm
good.
It's awful.
Ugh.
I mean, it's awful to the point that I went and looked up like reviews and like went on like some Facebook threads.
Did you give a
and,
review?
No, I should.
Wasn't that awful?
Yeah, if you're that pissed off, I mean, I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I gotta leave. Something.
Yeah, that's true.
You put pencil
That's
to paper.
fair. That's fair.
Write it
You're
out.
right. We get some of those. We get some of those for the podcast.
Get a lot of hate mail.
Yeah. You don't have ratings, dude.
But no, it was garbage, and I'm so mad that I wasted 2.5 hours
Could have
watching
been playing zombies early on.
it. Yeah.
I was sitting there just waiting. I was sitting on the couch with my
All right,
game on, just
so
waiting.
number one, no action, like almost zero.
Superhero movie, no action.
Right.
That's good plot.
Got it.
I was kind of skeptical too when I saw Kristen Wiig was the.
She was the worst.
Really, I kind of thought she would be. Then I saw the
I
previews.
felt-
I'm like, oh, maybe this will be good. But
So I had to look it up who it was because I like recognized her, but I didn't.
Who played Wonder Woman?
So it's what's her name? I can't remember what Wonder Woman's name is. She was good in the
Gal
first
Gadot.
one. Yeah. So she was good in the first one. She's athletic and she can she's believable. You know what I mean? It's not just some like hot chick that can't do anything. Like she's believable. But like I don't know, this movie, no action, and when there was, all right. So it's Wonder Woman 84, and so it's set in the 80s, and
Like the original outfit?
you were like the outfit was
gold
the same.
rope and everything?
Yeah. She's got that. But what we were trying to figure out is like, all right, are they filming this to look like it was filmed in the 80s? Because the special effects were so bad. The acting was just terrible.
I just don't understand. That was like they have
And, like,
nothing
I
else.
don't think it was
like
meant
DC
to
doesn't
look
have like
like
a
it was
ton of good
filmed in
shit
the
coming
80s.
out. Like,
Yeah, it's bad, dude.
that sucks.
It's bad.
Well, I'm gonna blow your mind right now.
All right.
So you know what I just watched on HBO
Max.
Max? I don't
Yeah.
know. The
that thing.
Sopranos.
Oh yeah. You never saw it before?
Never seen it.
Oh, you never seen it before? Okay,
It blew my mind. I couldn't stop watching it.
so good.
I just watched I would literally come home from like my neighbor's house, Corey's.
Yeah. Fucking Corey.
I hate him.
Corey,
He's the worst.
worst neighbor.
I hate him so much. But he got me into Sopranos.
Shocker.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Some gobble.
He's literally
Give
just
me a
juggling.
spicy meatball.
He's literally just juggling meatballs.
Yeah.
Just telling me to watch The Sopranos. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
He said, I brought you some prosciutto over if you want to eat it while you're eating watching the show.
You want some macaroni?
I just made sauce. I'll drop it off so you can watch The Sopranos.
Sauce. I got some gravy, Zoe.
I just made it homemade all day Sunday
Hey.
sauce day.
Yeah, I go. I don't want to watch this. Hey, whoa, whoa.
You gonna disrespect me?
Yeah, Corey. He's so stupid.
Yeah.
But anyways, he got me into Sopranos. So I'm watching The Sopranos, and I watched like 2 episodes with him because he like forced me to do it.
Yeah.
He goes, sit the fuck down. You're gonna watch.
How many
The
times
Sopranos.
has he seen it?
17 times.
Yeah.
straight
I believe
through.
it.
All
I believe it.
seasons.
Yeah.
So I'm telling him, hey, Vinny got killed, and he found out he was a homosexual, and he got killed. Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? Like he knew, he was gonna tell. He saw it like 5 years ago. He was telling me everything was gonna happen. So I watched the entire thing. The ending sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm talking about it like it just happened.
They
Like,
just
No, I get it. I didn't watch until
but
after
those
it was
shows though,
over.
man, it's like once you get to that point, it's like just gotta end it.
What were they gonna do?
I was ready for it to end.
Yeah, but it's just the way
It's
they do
actually
it.
genius.
I hated
It was genius. No, like as a fan, you hate it. As a fan of the show, you hate it. But if you want to make a show like have a cult following,
Yeah, that's
you
what
do something
because
insane,
then people can like build.
and they're like,
upon
"Oh, wait a
that.
minute! I need to see how this
Right,
actually
right,
happened."
right.
It was genius.
So my wife for my for Christmas, she got me the box set of DVDs because that's what we
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah.
do. DVDs.
I like it.
It's like albums.
What's
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. I got these new
Yeah,
Cassettes.
my kid's like, what is this little silver disc?
you have it on laser
Go to
disc.
your room.
Yeah.
How do you like that?
How about that?
Don't give me any lip. Lately, you've been getting kind of lippy.
I'm watching my stories.
Yeah, watching my story.
Not now. Grab me a drink.
Yeah, shut up.
You start talking like Corey all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Hey, go in the bathroom. What are you doing here?
Jiggle
Yeah,
the
get him out of
handle.
here.
Jiggle the fucking handle.
Hey, sweetie, get this asshole out of here.
Yeah, put him in the bathroom.
Put him in the fucking bathroom.
Put
I'm
him in
over
the
here trying to watch my stories over here.
Put him in the bathroom.
One of the best things about Corey is Corey and Marco. We were at Panini's one time, and I was gonna get a panini, and I just knew it was gonna piss him off.
Oh.
And I go, let me get the Capicola panini. They're like, oh, it's gabagool. I'm like, hey, just right here it smelled Capicola.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America. Last time I checked, this is America. Is it America?
Hey, you know what Corey got me for Christmas? I'm an Irish guy.
Yeah.
Right? I'm Irish.
Yep.
You know what he got me for Christmas? I'll give you one guess.
sausage hanging
I'll give you
kit.
one guess each. Sausage hanging kit. No.
Potato?
No. Yeah. Literally a bag of potatoes. Literally a bag of potatoes. It was a good gift.
Yeah,
I
it's
enjoyed
solid.
it. I enjoyed it.
We're like, oh, thank you. Oh,
I peeled some
my
potatoes.
Lucky Charms.
Yeah, they thought they were all funny. I'm like, I'm gonna eat the shit out of these things.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey,
Listen, I love potatoes.
I'm a huge
I
potato
love-
guy.
I love potatoes.
You're a huge potato guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
I love potatoes. Liz made these cheesy scalloped potatoes for Christmas. They were amazing.
So good.
They were amazing.
We had
my mom put bacon in hers. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Are you
Dude, put
kidding me?
bacon. Dude.
Bacon? Cheesy
yeah,
potatoes?
absolutely.
We made-
Potatoes,
we made
cheesy
a
potatoes,
ton
little
of-
sour cream.
Stop it.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Hey, put him in the bathroom.
Yeah, put them in the bathroom. All right, I'll go.
We had a
I'm in there.
Give me some of them cheesy potatoes. with
Cheesy
bacon
potatoes,
on it.
sour cream, and bacon.
You keep your pasta. I'll take potatoes.
Yeah, I love potatoes.
We had twice baked potatoes with our prime rib.
it, man.
Get out
So
of here.
good.
Dirty
Mashed
talk.
potatoes in the baked potato. Come on.
Come on. Come on.
I mean,
love
it's like
potatoes.
potato paradise.
I ain't seen no gabatel
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Mix it into some rotel.
Yeah. Hey, let me guess what you're having this Sunday. Sauce and meatballs. It never changes.
Original.
Yeah,
Yeah,
real
real
original.
Some garlic bread.
God, that sounds
outta
amazing though. Get out of here. Forget about it.
I do love Italian food. Well, I
same.
love all food, but
I like food.
I love Italian food.
Speaking of,
I give him a hard time. But
let's talk about frozen pizza real quick. Have you ever had the Screaming Sicilian pizza?
I have.
DiGiorno.
I don't know. It's
No, it's a brand.
What's
It's
that
like-
brand?
I think it's Screaming Sicilian.
Is that what the brand
Yeah,
is?
it's like it's
Okay.
a picture of like this mouth and it's like screaming.
Yeah.
It's I got it from,
It's pretty
we get it from
solid.
Heinen's. It's really good.
It's a solid. As
I could eat
frozen
that.
pizzas
It's-
go,
yeah.
it's solid.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Heinen's. Heinen's where it's at.
I love Heinen's.
I like Heinen's.
You know what the dirty secret around here is? Is that Heinen's is cheaper than Giant Eagle.
No way.
I am convinced.
No way.
I'm convinced.
I don't know. I don't have the argument for that because I don't.
When we go like regular grocery shopping, we spend more at Giant Eagle than we do at Heinen's. And I don't know if it's because
you're buying
there's
more
stuff.
You're probably buying a lot more at Giant Eagle.
Maybe I don't.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think
I
that
don't know.
portion.
So, though.
I think the port like when you buy meat at Heinen's, like it's a thicker cut.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
Giant Eagle, you might buy more of it.
Maybe.
I don't know.
You know what gets a bad rep and it doesn't get a lot of play? Is Aldi's.
Aldi's.
I
is
knew
fantastic.
you were
Aldi's is
gonna
phenomenal,
say
man. Aldi's is
Aldi's is
great.
fantastic.
Aldi's had a ham that my mom made for Christmas. That ham was probably the best ham I ever.
I'm telling you, man.
Hey.
Aldi's is where it's at.
Honey
Hey,
baked is overrated.
Christmas ham.
Oh,
Honey
dude.
baked is overrated.
Honey baked is over.
Dude, I went to
Overrated.
Honey Baked the one
Yeah, there's
year
no
for
reason to stand
I think
in
it was
line.
like a Christmas, and I got some ham and I got the turkey there. It's like $100, man. I didn't even get the big
Hey,
turkey.
listen,
I didn't get the
it's
big
good.
ham. No, but I didn't get the
Don't
big
get me
ham.
wrong.
It's the
It's good.
glaze. You can make your own glaze.
yeah, you can make your own
all it
glaze.
is
It's good.
the glaze.
Like
That's all
for
it
work,
is.
sometimes we have like lunch and learns or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'll get
cute.
the they get the
Lunch and learn. That's sweet. It's cute. You guys play blocks afterwards?
yes. Lunch and learn is when you have like a customer come in and they teach you about their product. But anyway, they get us our lunches sometimes from Honey Bake.
Okay.
And they make sandwiches,
Oh, really?
and they're
I
phenomenal.
do love a honey bake or
That would be
Christmas
good.
ham sandwich.
So leftovers.
So good.
It's just
Yeah,
like
leftover.
Thanksgiving. Leftovers are always better than
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Sandwich. A little
But I can only do
mustard.
leftovers for so long. Then I'm like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
a couple days. I'm
it's
done.
like I'm done. And then it's like,
2-3
okay.
days.
Yeah,
two,
two, 3
3
days. 2-3 days.
Then I'm in the bathroom for at least 2-3 days afterwards.
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah.
yesterday and today I've been doing steak and eggs in the morning because the leftover rib roast, and then in the afternoon I'm making ham sandwiches.
So I can't do eggs anymore. So
At all?
I was in a hospital for a few weeks. I'm going to bring this down.
All right,
You
let's
play
do
some
it. Let's
do
funeral-
this.
Play some funeral music over this when you edit it.
We'll edit it.
Well, get in
So
there.
I was in the
You're not
hospital
dead.
for 7 or 8 days. I'm going to pause here for the funeral music. All right. Well, I got my gallbladder out, and ever since I got my gallbladder, I had a bad case of pancreatitis. By the way, it was terrible pain.
When was this?
This is back in May through June.
Oh
I
shit.
didn't even know that.
So I went to the hospital and
we
got
don't
my
see anybody.
gallbladder like taken out.
My wife had to do that.
It was terrible.
10 years ago.
It was
but,
bad.
Yeah.
So ever since then, eggs is not good.
Really?
My wife will make eggs, and I need a funnel and a bathroom quick.
Damn.
No shit.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Huh.
Damn, it sucks, man. I love eggs.
I got a question. So I remember when she was going through the pancreatitis thing and had to have her gallbladder taken out. She would have these just like miserable, like gut wrenching pains,
Oh,
and
She had the stones,
like
right?
well,
That's
she
what
had
I had.
gallstones
That's
and
what
all
I
that
had.
kind of stuff. And I remember they told her to eat canned beets to like suppress the pain.
Did that work?
Apparently it did.
That's great.
But I
I'm not
remember
a beets
that
guy.
would be
Have you ever had a canned beet?
No.
at that point, with that much pain,
She
though,
didn't care. She
you're
was
gonna,
she was
Yeah, you do
crushing
you do
them.
whatever you can at
You're
that
gonna
point.
eat whatever.
But like I was trying to like this is when we first started dating. I mean, we were probably dating for 6 months when this happened, and I remember I was like trying to be the supportive boyfriend and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, yeah, well, I'll eat some canned beets with you. She's like sitting in a
Fetal
curled
position.
up in a fetal
It
position
is
in the
the
bathroom.
worst pain.
Dude, canned beets taste like straight dirt.
Yeah, it tastes like dirt.
I mean, I think it might be actually dirt.
It is.
But
They mix
it
dirt
did
in
seem
there.
to help her. She got her gallbladder removed.
So canned
She's
soil.
fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I wish I
Just
would
go
have
out,
known that.
go out in the garden
Yeah.
or the flower bed. Just grab some topsoil and
Yeah.
you're good to go. 'Cause that's what it tastes like.
But yeah, that's rough though. I mean, I remember seeing her, and that's a rough thing.
Those are one of the things I can't imagine having that and like kidney stones.
Yeah,
I can't even fathom. Like I've heard stories. Knock on wood.
Listen, I was in a hospital, and during COVID, no one could come in, so you're
Right.
there for like 4 or 5 days by yourself, just chilling, watching TV, but,
Right.
and just begging for morphine. But hey, at least
It's a simple life.
it's over.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's
I've
over
only
with.
I've only had
Whatever.
a real bad pain like that one time, and it was short lived.
Your neck? Oh yeah, that was awful.
I don't want to get into the story right now.
I want to hear every detail.
I can tell you.
You should tell it.
You want to tell it? This is actually good. This is good for
And
people
it was
to be
a
aware
Christmas
of.
time story too, right? Oh
No, no.
The neck was Christmas.
Christmas was neck.
Yeah.
I've had some
He
weird
said some
shit.
Weird shit.
You have to, like, what is going on at your house right now?
Some weird shit, man. I had. Okay, this is graphic, I guess.
Let's do it.
All
I
right,
like it.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, put the
You can
camera
always-
on.
So
There you
I
go.
wasn't aware of this. I've never had a urinary tract infection in my life that I know of, and I had one, but I didn't know it because I didn't feel like that pain that they said that you have.
UTI.
Because you're a man.
For the layman.
Because I'm a man. Yeah, I don't have time for that shit. UTI.
UTI.
Although I did have a lot of pain in my, Sack, yes.
Genitalia.
but it was like a pain. So I'm like, okay. So I went to urgent care. I went to.
No. First of all, we played golf.
Well, no, this is the next part.
Oh, okay.
So I went and got it checked out. At first, I went to my doctor at Cleveland Clinic, and they tested me, and they're like, "You're clear. There's nothing." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Another week goes by. I'm in the worst pain. I could barely walk. I'm like hunched over. It's bad. I go to Hillcrest, and they test me again, and they go, "Everything checks out. If we're gonna do some tests, and we have an antibiotic for you, but if it's negative, you don't have to pick up the antibiotic." I'm like, "All right." They're like, "Well, it's negative. Go home." Cool, I do. Another week goes by, and it's like what was like a Saturday.
It was a Saturday, yeah.
And like it was Ian, Marco, and Brian Perry. They're like,
Yeah.
let's go golfing. I'm like, all right, cool. But my ball is in a lot of pain. And it's swollen a little bit, not too bad.
Like you should have seen him trying to putt.
Dude,
like a billiard in a tube stock.
literally, it was bad.
Billiard ball.
So I get through the round, but halfway through, I start feeling like, you know, when you start getting like the flu, you start
Yeah.
getting like the aches and pains.
Sweat.
You
Like,
could see
I
the
was,
transformation.
yeah, the chills, and then like I was just like I was in pain. Everything hurt,
And
I'm
I'd be like, dude, you okay?
but I'm an idiot.
I'm fine.
I should have just gone home, but I'm like, I gotta get through this round. We're playing a scramble, 2-man scramble, and Marco and I are losing the whole time. We came back and won, by the way.
did. Felt bad
But I'm like,
for
I'm
you.
going back to my car and I'm like limping. I can't even walk. We're supposed to go to Corey's son's birthday party after
Yeah,
that. I tell
yeah.
Liz, I'm like, I'm
That's
sick.
right.
I'm like, I have the flu. Also, I have a swollen testicle that hurts like hell. So I go to sleep and I wake up in severe pain and I go take a shower because I'm freezing.
Mm-hmm.
And Liz comes home from the party and I show her and she just goes, oh my God.
Like what's going on with your
Here's the problem.
dinosaur nut?
So I thought like, because I went to
Yeah, you did
I went to the
what you're
hospital
supposed to do.
twice.
You went to the
and they
doctor.
told me I was fine.
And they said fine. Yeah.
so I go to urgent care, and the nurse goes. They take me back finally after like an hour, and I'm sitting like on 2 seats, like curled up in a ball. I'm in pain,
God.
and I'm telling you, the worst pain I've ever experienced in my entire life. Worst pain ever. I've broken bones. I've had a lot of bad injuries. This was the worst pain I've ever experienced. So she goes, "Well, can I take a look?" And she's like, "I'm like, honestly, I can't even fathom you making contact with this thing because it hurts so bad." She goes, "Okay." So they take me into the back. I see a doctor, and he goes, and it's a dude. He goes, "Hey man, don't worry." He's like, "We'll take care of it." He's like, "I get it." They put me on fentanyl.
No shit.
I go, fentanyl? They're like, well, yeah. They're like, I'm like, isn't it like the thing that people like OD on all the time? Like, you're in a hospital. We kind of know what we're doing. I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right.
All right, yeah.
So they give it to me.
I'll just trust you.
Instant change. I felt like I was floating. And Liz was in there with me. It's
I
like
had
2 in the
fentanyl-
morning.
I had fentanyl in the hospital.
Yeah, and I'm like talking up a storm. I'm feeling great.
This is great.
But man, you want to talk about the most awkward experience of my
so
life.
what happened?
So what happened is it's a UTI. So like it was an infection.
So it's
And
all
it
that-
starts making its way down into that area, and then like, but it's bad. So I went to a urologist a few days later, and they're like, yeah, I mean, like this is very serious. Like if we waited any longer,
they'd have to.
you could die
Yeah, it's
because
not
it makes this will make it up through the rest of your body, and
Yeah.
it could kill you.
good. Infection.
And he goes, if it was me, he's like, if I was in the emergency room that day, he's like, and there are a lot, he's like, I would have just taken a knife and cut it open, just let it drain. I'm like, well, I'm so happy you weren't there.
Right.
Because I was fine with getting my fentanyl and my antibiotics right there in the
that
hospital.
sounds way better
But
than
he,
a fucking
but he told me
blade.
how serious it was, and I told him, I'm like, listen, they told me I was fine for weeks.
Yeah.
But it's just because of the UTI. It doesn't always happen, but it does happen sometimes. So like if that's like a
Doesn't
serious thing.
infection show up in like blood work though? Like
Nothing showed up on those first 2 weeks. They said, and that's why I was so confused. I'm like, there's got to be something, and I didn't feel any pain peeing or anything like that. Like
That's crazy.
that's something you got to pay attention to. That because you hear of like women getting UTIs and they say like, or people getting UTIs in general, and
Yeah.
they say how painful it is. I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel like any discomfort peeing or anything.
Well, and like that situation.
I'm a man.
I remember. Well, like, but seriously,
No, it slipped my mind for a second.
no, but seriously though, like you did what you were supposed to do, right? Like you
Yeah.
went to the doctor.
There was something wrong. I knew it. I knew something was wrong.
I'm not going to be a hard-headed idiot about it. Like, let's go get this checked out. No, you're fine. Well, okay.
If that would just
Telling you I'm not.
after that second emergency room trip, if they would just give me an antibiotic, I would have never had to deal with that shit. And the reason why I got so sick, I thought I had the flu. No, it's because I had that infection.
Yeah.
And I was
Wow.
like sick as hell, man. Like it was miserable.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So like I said, man,
Well, at least you know now.
Wait.
Like if it ever happens again, you know,
Wait,
you know what to look
Christmas story though. Tell them about your neck.
okay,
This
Christmas
is my
story.
favorite story
for.
ever.
Your neck.
My neck.
Yeah.
Another story of me going to the doctor.
I know.
You
go
have,
to
a,
the-
you have a
He's
beautiful
got
neck.
rough-
Thank you. Man. You should have seen this.
It's
neck,
a very
right?
nice neck.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, it's
So
thick.
I go. Can I have that?
Yeah,
It's a thick neck.
It's all right. It was really thick this day. So I go to the doctor and I'm like,
You have no idea.
so I go.
Comment is.
You don't want to know. Jeez.
So I go to the doctor and I feel like my lymph nodes are swollen, right? So I'm like, I go and they're like,
It was around Christmas time.
it was around
right?
Christmas.
Yeah.
It was right before Christmas, and I go, I think I have like a sinus infection or something because it's swollen.
Yeah, yeah.
You're cool. All right, no medication, nothing. So Christmas Eve, it still hurts and it's starting to get very uncomfortable and it's swollen. Like you know when you get like
Yeah.
the
Yeah, like
lymph
it
nodes
swells
get swollen,
up
it
a
swells
little
up,
bit.
sticking out a
Yeah.
little bit. And I'm like, all right, maybe it'll be gone tomorrow. I wake up on Christmas morning, and Liz wakes up and I'm like, I can't swallow. Like I could feel like my esophagus, like pinched. Like, what? This?
That's what she said.
So
Can't swallow.
yeah, can't swallow.
That was cool.
Thanks, man. I'm sorry, that was me. I should have known that. But yeah, so I definitely knew something was wrong. So I look at Liz. I'm like, hey, does it look? Like, how's my neck look? And she like pretty much threw up on me. There was like a baseball sticking out of the side of my neck right here.
How hot was it when she threw up on you, though? Let's go back to that.
Yeah.
You want to talk about like fetishes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
How
one of
good?
mine.
How
I
good?
love when people puke on me.
Yeah. We have something in common.
Wait, talk about when you checked into urgent
So I go to urgent
So
care.
you have a baseball.
So this is Christmas morning, by the way, and I walk in there. And I'm wearing like a sweatshirt. I have my because I don't want anybody to see me. Like you ever seen what's it? Damn, I can't think of the movie. Forget it. So anyway, I go in there and I go, hey, so I got a problem with my neck. Something's going on here.
Were you freaking out?
I was terrified because I couldn't.
Like,
I
what were you thinking? I want to know. Like, what were you thinking?
I think I'm gonna die.
Like cancer, like a tumor.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
I'm freaking out, man. I'm having like
Well, it's
I'm having like panic
terrifying.
attacks.
No,
right?
of course,
Yeah, 100%.
But it
Like,
grew
it's
so
inside
quickly.
your body.
Like, I love to laugh about this
'Cause it's fun
5
and-
years later.
Right,
But, like, when it was happening, I was like, dude, what's
Like,
going
It was
on?
terrifying.
Terrifying.
Yeah,
So I go there and they're like,
the doctor just start crying, just screaming, like what,
literally.
Like, the doctor's
Well, literally, that's exactly the reaction. I go in there and I go, "Can I see? What are you talking about?" I go, so I pull my shirt down.
he goes, "Holy Jesus!"
Literally, they push like a button, like the panic button, and people come running out and like throw me in a gurney. Like they're like
calling Jeff. He's at home.
just calling everybody.
come see
We need
this.
backup. Yeah, and then they put me in the room.
Bring the students in.
So that's what it was like. I'm sitting in this room waiting, and they just keep bringing people in, and they're like, you hear them like in the hallway. You got to see this. Like they're like coming
taking
in.
out their
Yeah,
their
take your
personal
index finger and
phones
push
and
on
taking
it.
pictures.
Just push on it.
There's like
Just
people
push
with
on-
sticks like poking it. They're like,
Yeah.
so they're freaking out because like,
I'm crying.
so they take me back there, and they send everybody that works in that hospital. They're bringing in like other patients from other rooms and like wheelchairs to come see this. So like, you got to see this shit.
like,
Poke
hey,
it.
you
Just
need to
poke
pick
it.
me up. Come here and see this.
Yeah, you got to see this shit.
Hey, before we leave the hospital after my surgery, take a look at this dude's neck.
This thing is insane. They call the doctors aren't even on call. They're like, you got to see this shit.
It's like, what's that
Not
movie with
even-
Johnny Knoxville when the fucking guy comes out of his neck? Remember? Yeah,
Oh,
like a second
Men in Black.
Like a second head.
Yeah, it's pretty much what it was.
I forgot that was Johnny Knoxville.
Dude, and it ended up being okay. What it was I had a salivary gland infection, so it blocked the ducts, and I couldn't
Dude, what's
produce.
with your infections, man?
It's weird,
You should just take antibiotics, just precautionary.
Yeah.
right?
Just every Saturday you pop 2
Yeah, I'm
antibiotics.
just
Well,
gonna take a
how long has it
preemptive
been?
antibiotic.
It's been 2 years, so I'm due for another one next year. Some type of random infection.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
It's
yeah,
like
it's
a
like every
timeline.
3 years. Yeah.
God.
so what happened was that's what the problem was. You know what? They gave me some steroids and like antibiotics, but the main cure for something like that, because it does happen, is very common, I guess. But it doesn't get that bad usually. And usually when you go see a doctor, they tell you
Yeah.
that's what you have.
They don't
and
point and laugh at
They
you.
don't go
Oh my
say-
God, look at that
and
thing.
they say, you're good, go home. I know it's Christmas Eve and all, but get the fuck out of here. I got shit to do. But
I got a ham in the oven.
Not honey baked, they're
He
overrated.
goes, what time is it? You're fine. You get out of here. So the main thing was
No,
for
you're
that
good.
was sour candy
Sour,
to get your
Yeah, I remember that,
your
yeah.
saliva working back up.
sour candy solves the problem.
It helps it out because it helps your saliva to start
the glands.
Just kicking back up.
Oh,
Yeah.
no kidding.
But you want to know something? When you're not producing a lot of saliva, sour candy on your tongue is the worst pain you'll ever experience too, because your tongue's like dry, so it's
like sandpaper.
yeah, and then it burns, so it's like raw, and it starts to burn. Like
What were we doing? Sour Patch Kids?
I was
I'm a big
We're
fan.
doing were you doing Warheads?
No, because I was already
Remember
sensitive.
Warheads?
Lemon drops.
I got
No,
sour
lemon heads.
Lemon heads.
drops is the vodka.
Yeah, take it easy, Alki.
See
Here,
where my head's at. See where my head's at.
lemon heads.
Lemon heads.
Oh, let me
Snake
get
bite.
like 6 lemon drops.
What's that, like a snake bite?
You get some steak bites in here.
Yeah. Shit. What is that, like a Jägermeister? Shit.
No, I got sour Skittles
Oh, yeah. Sour
and a bunch of other
Skittles
shit.
are
I
solid.
grabbed like bags of everything I could find.
Yeah, just
So-
whatever you can get, right?
But all day though, man, I had to go to family parties after that, and I'm like wearing a hoodie like this the whole time.
Yeah.
They're like, "Hey, what's going on?" I'm like,
Don't worry about it.
don't look at it." And then I did, and then more people threw up on me. Just everybody I saw threw up all over me.
I mean, but how hot is that?
yeah.
God,
Man,
so
you want
much
to talk about
throw up.
one thing that just gets me?
Oh,
Puke, man.
I love it.
So that's my stories of my weird infections.
Thanks
Yeah.
for telling those, because
That's
every time
crazy.
I hear them, I just get so happy.
Well, I mean, obviously I was fine for both.
Again,
I survived.
knowing
Well,
that
the reason it's
okay.
funny is because you're fine.
I
Right,
survived.
right.
You know what's funny? I've never gone to like a urologist before.
You probably should start
No.
weekly.
Well, I know. But I did go to see this guy, and they show the pictures on the wall for like your, what's that examination called for the butt? They prostate.
Colonoscopy.
Colonoscopy.
No, the prostate
Oh,
examination.
prostate exam. Yeah.
So I've never had to deal with any of that before, and I was just thinking that I'm like looking at the posters on the wall, and it shows like what you have to do for a prostate exam. Like the doctor comes in and puts his
Gotta
finger
get
in
to know
there.
your doc.
Yeah, I'm 3
Oh.
years away.
So
Yeah.
I look at the posters, and as soon as the doctor walks in, what do you think the first thing I look at? His fingers. I look at his hands to see how big this guy's fingers are.
Were you so pissed that they were small?
Yeah. Yeah.
Devastated.
Oh, man.
I'm like, you get somebody else in there. You got like somebody like
Man.
Tony Robbins back there.
Yeah. I need some
You ever see
giant.
that dude's hands?
Yeah,
Obviously, you
yeah,
have.
that's
You
what I
made the
mean.
joke.
You know the reference though from that
Yeah.
is Shallow Hell. You ever seen Shallow Hell?
Shallow-
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
And
solid
Jack
movie.
Black's in the
I
elevator with him,
remember.
and he goes and grabs his head. He's like, "Oh, easy, banana hands." It's like, look at the mitts on this guy. So, but yeah, but full disclosure, I didn't get.
Just
I,
requesting Dick Butkus to come in and give him the exam.
Yeah. You got any NFL players?
Yeah.
he's like, you know what? We're not testing that. I'm like, but can we though?
Yeah.
He's like, no, we're not doing that today.
Safety
He
first.
just,
All right,
just
give us-
walks in, your pants are off.
Yeah, I'm bent over the table. Oh no, don't!
Oh shit! I hate when this happens.
You got to stop coming in here, man. You got to stop.
You don't even have an appointment.
Sorry.
In a random waiting room, I sneak in.
Dude, when you walk into the ER with your pants down, not cool.
Yeah, you
Not
gotta stop
cool.
doing that, man. You're in the waiting room,
Right.
sliding them down.
You're just practicing, just shoving crap.
Oh,
And
my God.
But no, none
Well,
of that.
That was fun.
Anybody else have any
thanks
gross
for
stories
that.
about themselves, or is it just me today?
Oh, no. Actually, we're going to move on here.
Damn it!
no gross stories.
But hey,
Well, I'm glad your
like-
gallbladder's good. Well,
Yeah.
it's gone. So
It's gone.
Yeah.
so what we're saying here is that with all these stories is get things checked out.
Yeah.
This
I
is
mean-
a public service announcement
I mean,
from the
that-
Talking Dads.
like we have fun with it because everyone's okay and that kind of stuff. And
But
like,
go to
we
the
were
doctor
talking
if
to
you have
Jim
something
a couple
weird.
weeks ago, and like
You know, and if it wasn't for my wife, honest to God, like the first time I went to the emergency room, that's when we found out what it was. And my they wouldn't take my gallbladder because my pancreatitis was so bad. So she made me go because I'm like, all I have is a stomach ache. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna go away.
it'll be fine.
It'll be fine. And the doctor literally said, like, if you like pancreatitis can kill you.
yeah, oh,
sure.
absolutely. If you wait,
Absolutely.
man.
Yeah. So thank God she was
Well,
smarter than me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with like what I had. The doctor's like, dude, if you waited any longer, he's like, I've seen it too, where people just wait. I'm like, how do you wait? Like, I went to the emergency room 3 times for this.
Dude, I'm telling you, holes 17 and 18, him putting. It's just like he's lining up his putt, and like he's trying to be serious because they made a comeback to beat on this 2-man scramble, and like he's got to make these putts, and he's sitting there, and he's trying his fucking hardest.
I'm like shaking, dude. I
And I'm
felt
looking
so
at it,
sick.
I'm like, I really want to win, but like he doesn't look too good.
I just wanted to get it
Like,
over
dude,
with.
are you
Says a lot about your
okay?
character.
Dude, I was like,
I don't like to give
a lot
other
about his
guys
character.
credit that
Yeah.
much.
thanks, guys.
He sunk these putts and like beat us, and I was pissed off about
Yeah.
it.
And the guy's like literally
like-
half in the grave.
Literally
Seriously, man,
on
I was gonna
18, He makes this putt, can't even celebrate. He just collapses, and then it's like, I gotta go to the fucking hospital.
dude, I was bad, man. I got in my car and I was driving home and I thought I was dying.
Yeah.
It was bad. And then that sick feeling on top of the pain was 100 times worse than anything.
Yeah, I feel sorry for you because it's so recent in my head. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you know,
it
like the
sucks.
pain, like it's like you because you don't
Yeah.
have like those type of pains, and like you
right.
do.
It's
like,
not like you have the flu and you feel
Yeah, you feel
nauseous.
sick.
Yeah,
That
you know
sucks.
the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that sucks.
It's like a
Yeah.
pain that you think you're literally dying.
yeah,
Like, yeah,
it was
I know.
bad,
Yeah.
and it's like
It is bad.
But it starts off somewhere where you're like, it's probably fine. It's a pain.
It'll go away.
It'll go away.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
But then you let it go, and that's when you start to get in the real pain.
Yeah, you're right. You need to go see a doctor. If something's doesn't feel normal, go get
and
it
it's
checked
so
out.
simple.
Yeah.
Well,
You hate the answer sometimes though. Like you don't want to get that
I
like
don't
bad
wanna
news.
Go.
You
It's
know,
2 a.m. I don't want to go to the hospital. Like
it's such an inconvenience. I'm gonna sleep it off. See how I feel in the morning.
yeah, that's how people die.
Exactly.
Exactly. And you know, when you're 19, 20, whatever.
That's fine, but we're getting up there, guys.
Probably fine. But
Yeah, we are.
well, and the reality is and like it sounds cliche, but like we got kids, right?
You're living for
Absolutely.
more than
You
just
want to be
yourself.
around for your kids and stuff like that. I mean, transitioning into what I kind of wanted to talk about was 2021's coming up. Hopefully we can get through this COVID thing, like you said, light at the end of the tunnel. But like, I know for me, we talked about it on our quickie. I want to be more patient with my kids for 2021. It's like a resolution of mine, and I'm not huge into resolutions, but I definitely want to be a little bit more patient. And my other thing is, take better care of myself, and not from like a working out standpoint, whatever.
But just like get things
That
checked
ship has
out.
sailed, but like be healthier. You know what I mean? So like get stuff checked out, go see a doctor,
Schedule
regularly.
appointments. Yeah.
But so like that's definitely something that I want to do. Like, do you have anything in mind for 2021 that you want to do?
Yeah, it's actually right along the same lines. Is like I just want to continue to be a better father. Just be more, I guess. People say, and like we were just talking about in coaching, like you don't want to be a friend to your players. Well, I think being like a dad, you do want to be a friend to your players, to your kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
They grow up all the time, and you're protecting them, and they understand your role.
Yep, for sure.
But you do want to be a friend to your kids, so I'm going to try to be more of a friend to my kids, and at the same time, like you just said, me personally, this is getting out of hand. So I got to lose a little bit. I got to lose some lbs.
It's easy to let things get out of hand
It is.
because you're busy.
And I was so active in my 20s playing hockey, and I never thought it would be an issue. But when you sit down and talk to people on the phone for a living,
Yeah, right.
it gets out of control.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm going to start being a little more active, and that'll in turn lose.
That improves
the
everything.
little changes help so much. I mean, Steve and I were just talking about how in our early 20s, before we had kids and stuff like that, we used to meet up in the mornings and play basketball. And like
we would lift,
basketball players.
we would
We were
lift, and then we would play
5'10",
basketball.
like
just slamming it.
but,
Oh,
yeah, right.
all day, dude. I could still touch the rim. It hurts my knees a lot, but I can get up there. I could
Like we
touch
would
it.
play for what, like a half hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah. Well, that was after working out.
After working
that
out,
was after
like, we would
lifting,
go
and then
lift, and then we would play basketball. And like that little change in lifestyle was amazing.
it makes a difference in.
And now that
everything.
we need it, we don't do it.
Well, here's the problem too, because I was before the pandemic happened. Because every year I get into it from February through like July. Like I go hard, like I go crazy in the
Get
gym.
ready for summer.
Yeah, and I get in a good routine and I stick with it. This year we got into March and I was doing great. I go at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I would work out before work and shower, and then go to the office. And it's doing that in the morning. I felt amazing. I go into the office like ready to go.
You're ready to go,
I'm
yeah.
like, I
You're
feel amazing.
energized.
I have the energy. I'm not sitting there just like strolling, feeling like shit. Got to get my coffee. Like I feel good. I'm ready to go. Well, then you can't go to the gym, and then you lose that routine. You lose that whole routine.
Yep.
And not to mention, everybody's home, and I can't go to the gym in the morning anyway because I have to help out with everything before I leave. So it's like, man, I can't. It's like,
tough,
and
tough.
then I can't go after work because I just don't have the time. I have to be home with the kids and everything. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's tough. I got. And those are excuses, obviously.
No, you got to get up early in the morning, and no one wants to do
all right,
it.
listen,
Like
here's-
that's literally the only time.
Here's
you
the
have.
thing: is they're valid excuses, but they are excuses, right?
Absolutely,
Like,
but I
have
also don't wanna
have
go to the gym.
Conversations with our wives and our families to say, okay, this is important. How do we need to work this out? Whether it's you get some time in the afternoons or whatever, work it out to where you have some time to do stuff on your own, whether it's physical or mental health.
You got to do it.
You just got to
That's
do it.
that's like going out like once a week, or if you can, be like, hey, I'm gonna go out with the guys. And we're gonna go golfing after work,
Right.
Or we're gonna go to the bar on Friday.
Or like the podcast, like I know for us,
This is
like,
nice. This is
the
our getaway.
podcast for us is
Oh,
our
it's
like mental
phenomenal.
health,
Yeah,
like getaway.
100%, 100%.
Like, we use our intentionally use our phones as cameras, so we're just having a conversation, and like it does wonders.
It's important now more than ever.
Yeah,
With-
100%.
Absolutely, because
Yeah.
it's nice to sit here and vent, like about
Yep.
life, because otherwise, who are we talking to? Like,
Right.
I love to laugh. I love to hang out with people and just have a good conversation and laugh
Mm-hmm.
and bust balls. Like that's the best thing.
So amazing.
And you have to be able to find an opportunity to do that throughout your week.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't.
Like we play Call of Duty and we jump on, and that's kind of my outlet. To be honest with you, as dumb as that sounds, I'm 47
No,
years
you're
old.
not dumb at
100%
all.
right. Because
But
I explained this to my wife. She's like, you guys, like, she listens to our conversations on there, and she's like, you guys are idiots.
They're retarded.
And I'm like, listen, this is like my escape from reality, where I could just live in my fantasy world and talk to my friends and just be happy.
For 45 minutes to an hour, 2 hours, maybe 4 hours.
You're not to say that I'm not happy with hanging out with my
whatever.
family,
But
but
my wife says the same thing. Like, I work hard. There's stresses. There's, people. Everybody has their own like internal thing that they're battling. But that's my time.
that's your time, man.
But now, what I want to try to do in 2021, to your point, is get up a little bit earlier.
Yep.
Go for a run, jog. I think
Jogging, I believe
The J
it's a
is
soft
silent.
J.
Yeah. It's a soft.
Apparently, all you do is run.
Yeah.
But anyways,
For an extended amount of time.
I'm gonna try to like get up and be a little more active in the morning. That way, I have more energy through the day.
Yep.
It really does make a difference.
Yeah, 100%.
I was, it's such a good routine where I'd wake up at like 4:30 and I would just be good, man.
Yeah, by the time you go to work at 8 o'clock or so, you are ready
it's
to
like
roll.
you've already had a half a day in you. You know what I mean?
right.
Like you're feeling good.
Yeah.
Because instead of rolling out of bed, getting dressed and just strolling in, like it's like you feel like shit still because
it
you're like
just
still,
sets you up.
you're just like kind of sleeping on the way to the office.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
It just sets you up, like it sets you up for the day because now you don't get that like after lunch hangover type thing,
Right.
Where you're just like, fuck it, I'm done. Because now that's like your third segment of the day versus the second.
you hit the day so hard
Yep.
head on that by the time noon comes around, you're like, I'm good to go.
You are. You
Let's
feel good,
roll.
man.
Yeah.
And it just gets everything moving.
Right.
And that's what you need. Like, I mean, just waking up early and doing something active.
We gotta
let
do
that be a
another,
walk. Let that be a walk in the morning. Just get the blood flowing.
Right, that's all you need.
Yeah. Go walk a few miles.
Last year we did this like little competition thing for like people from the podcast and stuff like that, and it was cool. I mean, the pandemic kind of
Yeah, it really threw a wrench in
derailed
things.
it.
Yeah.
because people couldn't go to
What
the
is this
gyms.
competition? I'm
So,
curious.
We should
did
do another
like
one.
We should do another one. So we did like I think we based it on pounds per or like
It's
percentage of
percentage,
weight
yeah.
or whatever, and it was just a metric to use. Like me personally, I don't give a shit about the actual number on the scale, but
doing
when it
something.
goes down, I do feel better.
yeah, you're
right?
doing something.
You put me into a competition like that and put anybody into a competition. I
Yeah,
think
we're dudes,
you're,
right?
You're gonna do it because like you're like, well, shit, I don't want anybody to beat me. So you're gonna do
Right.
what you can.
And
to
we did that for whatever 12 weeks, I think.
We were all doing great,
It was
man.
amazing. I think I lost like 20 or 30
Because
pounds during that competition.
You send your weight in, like we do weigh-ins right
Yeah.
every week,
Yep.
and then
you send it in.
and then so we should do
We
that
should
again.
do something like
It's
that.
just-
Jay Riker was just asking me if we were going to do it again.
Good.
He's like, I need to
You
push.
gotta get in on it, man. This is a good
I need a
push.
push.
I'm in. That's
I mean,
a lot of
it's as
motivation.
simple as things like we do
And
it
we
at work.
donated a bunch of money to.
Wait, we all picked a
was it the-
$50 donation to your
food
choice.
bank.
Yeah,
I think it was that we ended up donating to.
Almost like the Biggest Loser type competition.
yeah.
You throw it towards,
It's competitive, but it's not like insane to where like you're at it. Yeah, I don't know.
no,
it was fun.
it's a good competition, and it gets you to go do something. It forces you to go out and want to do something.
Yeah, that's the point.
yeah.
And like I said before, like I was using excuses to not wake up early and work out or whatever. But at the same time, I also didn't want to go to the gym
Right.
because, well,
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, what do we have going on right now? And I gotta look out for not only myself and my family, and I do like to see my mom and my dad
Right.
and like my brothers and their
That's
kids, and I like to see my friends. It's like I don't want to be
that's-
going to the
that's
gym
what
where I'm
scares
seeing a
me.
bunch of random people.
Yep.
And like you could be cleanly at the gym, you could wipe everything down, but at the same time, it's kind of like
It's a risk that doesn't need to be taken.
no.
To be honest.
And
Well, that's the thing. This whole thing, it's all about like perception of risk, right? Like, do you really like? We have to go to work. Like
Yeah.
whether you can work
Yep.
from home or if you have to go in, like there's things that you have to do.
absolutely, it's life.
There's things that you don't have to do. You can mitigate some of that risk by saying, okay, well, I can probably do something different in place of that.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, right.
It's
And
tough.
weather's shitty outside, so it is what it is. But there's other things that we can do, right?
Yep.
Like I said, it's an excuse. I could do home workouts, but I hate working out at my house.
Corey got a gym, my neighbor.
Oh, did he?
He got a gym, and he, I mean, it's a legit.
Has he used it yet?
Oh, well, I mean, if you take a look at him, I mean, come on, guys.
He says he does.
Yeah, it's basically what it is. It's just a little. There's like two chutes on either side of him. He stands in front of it, and it just fires meatballs at him. and he just starts juggling meatballs. But it, he's active, whatever. No, he bought this home workout. I mean, this thing's legit. You got to see it. Like, it's legit.
If I know Corey, it's legit.
He spent a ton of money on it, and it's, literally a weight bench. Like, you can do presses, you can do leg presses, you can do everything. I mean, it's
the cables and everything on it.
Cables.
Yeah, I love the cables.
Yeah, he called me over there one day to snip the cables. He got himself all tangled up in them. I don't know.
And the garlic bread was all the way over there.
Yeah, I got the smell of meatballs. I had to go upstairs.
I had the sauce on the stove, and I was home alone. So
next thing I know, I'm entwined in these cables.
Now I'm burning the sauce.
Yeah,
get over here.
Yeah.
Calls the paramedics.
It's a fucking emergency.
Yeah. Call my
Sir, are you okay? Don't worry about me. Get the sauce.
Yeah, call somebody Italian to baby the sauce.
Yeah. What nationality are you? Oh, sir, I'm Irish. Oh, no, don't get that guy over here.
God, I hate him.
Yeah, he's the worst.
Yeah.
All right. So, proud dad moment you want to do?
Yeah, let's do it. All right. So, Bill, we do some
Things.
Some things. All right. So, my favorite thing that we do is we talk about a proud dad moment. Mm-hmm. And so, a proud dad moment could be something with your kids that they've done recently that you're like, holy shit, like, I'm actually really proud of that. Mm-hmm. Or my favorite ones are, I'm proud of myself because I didn't lose my shit over a situation that normally I would lose my shit over. Or something like that.
Where, proud of yourself, your kids, or your wife. Even.
I think it's important to look at those and kind of reflect and say, okay, how do I replicate this behavior? Like what happened leading up to this that I can do it again? Because I think as dads, at least me, I'm very reactive to things versus proactive.
I agree.
Same. So like something happens good and I'm super excited, but then it's over. Or something bad happens and it fucking blow up and then it's over. Whereas if I can kind of Monday morning quarterback it and say, all right, what really happened in that situation? What could I have done? What happened that was good? So I like to look at the good stuff and say, how do we do that again? Anything comes to mind for?
There's two things.
Okay.
There's two things. So one is, and this is kind of simple, but it means a lot to me. And I'm a little bit older than you guys, so you'll be there eventually. So I have a 22, 21, and 11-year-old. Mm-hmm. So I'm down in the basement, screwing around with something. Maybe I play music, so maybe I was screwing around with something, and I could hear the kids upstairs just running around, playing with the dogs, just having a great time. And Emma's laughing, and Zach and Allie are screaming, and I'm thinking to myself, a lot of families don't have this, where you have some older kids that are in the house, they're having fun with your 11-year-old. It made me really proud of them, just that they're so, I guess, engaged. Yeah. And the older kids have patience with her, and she thinks the world of them. And I just felt like almost like a job well done.
Yeah.
Type scenario.
Yeah, for sure.
Just you hear the interaction and the conversation, and I just sat down there. I remember just sitting down there and just kind of smiling. It was
like an out of body experience.
Right. It was a really good moment.
Because you big picture it. You're like, man, this is awesome.
And I wasn't there. My wife Kim wasn't there. The dogs are running. They're just having a great time by themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they felt comfortable and safe. And it was just one of those things where I just felt, I guess, it was fun.
It's proud.
You're proud.
It's proud.
It's proud, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to overstate it, but sometimes I'll hear my kids playing in the other room and I'll be like, I made it.
Yeah, I did that.
I
did that.
Yeah.
And that was a very satisfying, proud moment to me.
That's good.
Another one was, I've been married twice. So my two older kids come from a different marriage. And so my daughter comes home, and her mom was actually, affected, or, she was maybe exposed to COVID.
Okay.
So she comes home and she saw her, but not very long. And it was kind of weird. And she got emotional and she was crying. And I'm not very, you ask anybody, I like to have fun. I like to laugh. I'm not very emotional. I didn't grow up that way. My dad's a Vietnam vet. It just wasn't in my blood.
Sure.
So she's getting emotional in the kitchen last night.
Okay.
All right. So I put my arm around her and I gave her a hug. Totally out of my.
Not your element. Right.
Not. It's not normal for me to do that.
Yeah.
So I gave her a hug, I let her know, hey, listen, I'm here for you. Things are going to change. It's going to be temporary. And she knows all that. She's not dumb. But she needed somebody there. And instead of me saying, "Hey, listen, like
Suck it
how
up.
I would usually
Yeah.
respond."
No, it's not a big deal. Get over it.
It was different. She needed somebody there at the time, and that was something that I consciously am
So you
trying.
understood what she needed in that moment.
I did, but I reacted differently.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was a moment that I'm working on currently, just to try to get more in touch with myself and understand what people need, instead of trying to toughen everybody up all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's easy to do, man. It's easy to be like, it's tough. I know, I get it, but it's gonna be fine. Like, you'll get over it. It's not a big deal. Like,
You can't. Sometimes you can't brush it under the door.
Exactly, because just
you
get that conversation over with and just move on. But it's like to actually sit there and listen and try to relate with them. That's big. That's tough for. I don't know. I'm kind of tough. It's kind of hard for me to do that kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, my wife has her issues with things, and sometimes I'm like, whatever. But to actually sit down with them and actually let them talk to you and talk it out and express what they're feeling, and you actually sit there and listen.
Yeah.
That's something to be
And
proud
when
of.
your kids
man.
get older too, it's going to be something that you're going to love. Is like when your kids come to you.
They come talk to you.
Oh, if they have the flexibility and they understand that you have their best interest in mind and they trust you,
Well,
and
and
you're
I
a
was just gonna
friend.
say the trust.
The trust. Yeah.
The trust.
And I think that starts earlier. We had someone on one time that said, like, they have a moment like at dinner or something, like, this is our time to put it out on the table. Let's have a conversation and talk about what's going on with you. So they get comfortable with having those conversations with you. So when there is something big or major that happens, they don't just they bottle it up and they don't talk.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it starts with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
That's-
I will share something with my kids that maybe not be the easiest thing to share, but I'll let them know anyways. Because if I'm opening up to them, they feel more comfortable opening up to me.
Absolutely. And I think that's major.
And that's
It's so
that's
healthy.
Huge. It is.
Because
And it's not natural, kind of like you said, like you're out of your element, and like it would be very easy to do the, quote unquote typical dad thing where it's just like, yep, work was good.
Yep.
Yep.
Good. All right, let's have dinner.
I'll tell them
Clean up your
specifics,
shit.
and that's something I'm working on.
Right.
I'll tell them specific story. Hey, I talked to this guy in Texas. He's a Vietnam vet. Blah blah. Or this guy's trying to buy a house and his daughter died or something. I'll tell this emotional story and tell them like how I'm helping them and and now they kind of understand my work.
Yeah.
And they understand the hours I work and that sort of thing. So it's healthy. It is
Yeah,
very
absolutely.
And I think as kids, you grow up and you have this perception of your dad, right? And like at least for me, like my dad was a cop, right? So he was this hard dude that just like was kind of an asshole, but like had to uphold the law. Like that was my vision of my dad. And then he retired, and I got to know like through stories of guys that he worked with, like retirement parties or guys that we've had in the podcast, whatever. And I was like, oh shit, like he was more than just like this badass dude that like, cracked skulls and arrested
There's definitely
people,
a lot
you know
more
what
to
I
them.
mean? And that like kind of always gets me thinking like, it's okay. Like, I think there's a healthy amount of like your kids viewing dad as Superman or whatever you want to call it. But then there's part of it where you can say, okay, if you can be Superman, but also have this side where you can open up to dad and like talk and like be a human about it. Like that's so good for our kids.
huge.
It's major because if they don't have that outlet at home to go talk to somebody,
Where are they gonna go?
Where are they going to go?
They're gonna turn to other things.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
that's not good.
And we don't want that.
No, that's the last thing you want.
So it's fun to be able now, and my kids are much older than yours, but I mean, you figure 22 and 21-year-old, they will bring a bottle of whiskey home and be like, hey, let's have a
Let's
drink.
hang out. Let's have a drink.
It's not, we don't get slaughtered, but we'll have a drink
Right.
and
Just
we'll
have a
hang out
talk.
and watch a movie and have a talk.
Yeah.
And
That's cool.
That's awesome.
I mean, that's
important.
the goal, right? Like, I know from my perspective, 5 and 3, my kids are.
Yeah.
Like, that's my goal is that they're comfortable enough with me. Like, I didn't start hanging out with my dad until, when I graduated boot camp, and then I was gone for a couple years. But then after that, it was like, all right, my dad I can hang out with him. I can talk to him.
Yeah.
But if I would have had that before, maybe, I don't know, maybe that would shape me differently. And I'm not complaining
It's the
by
same
any
thing.
means.
Same thing here. I didn't really get to know my dad until I moved out.
Until I was an adult, right?
Yeah.
Like, till you're
That's
an
usually how
adult.
it goes, though. I mean, like
Because he's like, you know what? Now you're not a little piece of shit.
Right.
Now
yeah, you can have
you're
you can
just a
have
big
those talks
piece
with
of
them.
shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
He's a big piece of shit. Yeah,
Yeah. Now you're a giant piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I could talk to this giant
Probably
piece of
needs
shit.
to work out because you have tit sweat.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's so important for dad. I mean, look, whether we want to admit it or not, and I think it's for the better, is dads just play a much bigger role in the development of our children, right? And I do think it's a good thing. Whether you want it to happen or not is irrelevant because that's just who we are, right? Like
True.
everyone's working, everyone's doing their own part. And I think it's just like the roles have changed. And again, I think it's for the better where we have to fill in multiple roles. Like I know there's times where my wife's got to go in early, leave late. And like, 40 years ago, that was never a thing.
No,
dude.
Like
Like, mom was there.
and you're making dinner.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
Yeah, all the time.
Yes,
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
So and
yeah.
that's fine. And then I get my 11-year-old to help me out, and I tell her what a great job she did, and we
Right.
make a thing of it.
Yeah.
It's a whole
Yeah,
fun
that's
thing.
fantastic.
And those
Yeah.
are memories that she's always going to have.
Right.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
And
the same thing.
now you're I don't want to say equal because I don't think there's such thing, but like parents have their roles, and if they blend a little bit to where, yeah, dad's making dinner, dad's they're watching.
You have
dad
your- you
put
have
the
your
laundry
night.
away.
Yeah.
Like those gender roles are kind of just gone,
Absolutely.
and I think that's just better because now we're a parent and we're not just that
agree.
guy that goes to work and comes home and reads the newspaper.
Sends
and-
them off to
and,
bed
like,
while mom does.
I gotta
the
go get him
reading
4
and-
beers
days are
every
gone.
night, and then I go to bed. Like
Those days are gone.
yeah, those
Yeah,
are
absolutely.
gone, and
There's
I think that's a good thing for
It
sure.
is, it is a good
Absolutely, it's a great thing.
But I think it's cool to be conscious about it too. To say this is happening, and we can further that transition into what a dad should be,
Yeah,
and it's fun.
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
make it work.
who knows what a dad should be? Like, I mean, that's something that I struggle with. Is like, I don't know. I've never done it. Like, I
Right.
don't know.
Absolutely,
Like, you
you're,
don't know.
you're constantly learning.
Yeah, you're constantly learning.
It's
so
something new every year.
It's good that you guys talk to each other because, to be honest with you, like what dudes talk to each other about this stuff? No one does. So it's a great premise. It's a great premise for a podcast. It really is. Because you get to hear some ideas and you get to hear like other mindsets and things that are going on. So
This podcast is like the most selfish thing that we do. It really is. Like we get so much more out of it than
Yeah.
like our guest does. Like it's fun for like you're good on camera, like camera and microphone, whatever. Like you're in a band, like you're used to that kind of stuff. Some guys aren't. But we, almost 2 years into this thing, we get so much out of it, and that's why we keep doing it. Like it's just
It's great. It's cool. It's cool to learn and see the other perspectives.
But it's
and
good for guys to sit down and talk about and we mix in the sports
Stuff
and
that
mix
we
in
never
the
talk
funny
about.
stuff, the movies.
absolutely.
like,
You
how many
usually-
dudes do you know that talk about
Yeah.
like, oh, your family lost shot? What
Yeah.
did you do last night?
Exactly.
Right,
It's
exactly.
like
Did
you get together and you have a few drinks and you bullshit about a few things, but then you're together with other people, so that conversation's short,
Right.
and you move on to the next conversation.
Yep.
Like when you could actually sit for 2.5 hours
That's
and
a
actually,
captivated crowd. Like
Yeah.
you get
Yeah.
to talk
Right.
about what you want to talk
Right.
about.
Absolutely,
fun.
man. This is why this is amazing.
And I think it furthers the fatherhood like initiative of like, yeah, you don't have to be a dick. Like you can
No.
be a dad and still be a man, right? Like that. Those things aren't mutually exclusive. Like we can be dudes, still like our movies, still like sports, still like doing dad shit or man shit, whatever, and also like open up to your daughter and like give her a hug and be like, hey, we're gonna be all right. Like this is what we're doing. Here's how we're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it together.
Yeah.
And it's important. It's
It-
important
it's super
because
important.
literally 20 years ago, that never happened.
No.
Yeah.
Never.
It never happened.
And if it did, it wasn't talked about, and so then it never.
it wasn't. It could never turn into the norm.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool shit.
That dude.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right. So the other thing we do is a dad hack. And so this is more about like when the podcast, we reach the 19-year-old kid that just knocked up his girlfriend and thinks that his life is over.
Yeah, and
Because
it's
now
some-
I got to deal with poopy diapers and whatever.
It's something that you've done with your
something-
kids. Like maybe it's something like for your oldest daughter, 22 years old, maybe something that you did with her when she was real little, or I mean, your 21-year-old or your 11-year-old, some type of hack that you've done that works for you, that
or something now,
or
that
now,
you do
yeah, I
with
mean,
them.
yeah,
you know what I mean, like where it's something that maybe that dad that's got a 20-year-old doesn't think of, and like, how do I maybe wants to reach out and
anytime in their
I
life.
don't think, like, I'll tell you a dad hack. Like, it's not going to be like,
no one thinks it's a hack, so go ahead.
yeah, it's not going to be
fine.
anything like
it's
crazy
not
mind blowing.
groundbreaking,
But
yeah.
here's what I'll tell you. I think it's important to talk to your kids. I think it's important to understand that you're not just their father. You're not just the dude that hangs out in your house and brings in a paycheck, or helps around the house or cuts the grass. I think it's something that you need to focus more, like at least I do. I focus more upon being their friend, and just really, especially when they're older. Like you guys, like when you have kids that are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, you're a parent. You're keeping them away from danger. You're teaching them right from wrong.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing that sort of thing. I've been through that, and I'm still going through that. But I think it's something that you need to share when they get older, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 22, to share your life experiences with them. And don't be afraid to tell them where you screwed up.
Yeah.
Because they'll learn from that, and they'll understand that, you're being humble, you're being honest.
Well, that humanizes you, right?
Right.
Like that,
Yeah.
that you're not Superman anymore. You
Right.
made a mistake.
Yeah, you actually did the same shit they did. Like
Right.
that's the thing. You look at your parents for the longest time is, well, they weren't doing what I was doing.
Dude,
like
I
they,
thought-
they were saints. They didn't.
thought
There's no way in hell they did this.
I remember I thought my parents were perfect.
Everybody
of
did.
course.
Perfect humans. Like, did the right thing, went to church, did, whatever. Not my dad, but like my mom, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I
But
thought they were perfect.
Literally the same way. I thought my parents were perfect, and still in my eyes they are perfect. They're great people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I understand their flaws.
Yeah.
They never shared them with me until later in life.
That's the thing. I think it's sharing it later on.
right.
So because then your kids have that fear of disappointing your parents. Like,
Correct.
okay, there's no way they were doing this. I should be careful, and it makes you think about it.
But I let them know. Like, I think my dad hack. Here's my dad. Here's
do it.
my revelation to dad hacks.
I like it.
Is just be honest with your kids and show be vulnerable to your kids.
Yeah.
Let them know that you screwed up, and let them learn from your mistakes. How good of a parent are you if you let them make the same mistakes, knowing that you just made that mistake?
Right.
25 years ago.
Absolutely.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. So you might as well share those things with them and let them know and learn. And that's what I'm trying to do.
That's evolution,
and
right?
it's tough.
Like, yeah,
It's
that-
tough to
that's
do.
getting them to-
because it's you're really. I mean, at that point, when you're telling your 21-year-old kid who's 3 inches taller than you can outdrive you on a golf course, that listen, I screwed up. Right?
Yeah.
You need to like learn from my screw up. That's my dad hack.
I like it. Hit that button.
Well, I'm hitting it.
Dad hack.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I think that's the end game type thing where you're just like, it's come full circle. I don't need to be
You need to hide those things anymore.
right.
It's
mean,
like, hey
because
man,
we
I know what you're
do.
going. I know what you're going through because I've been there. I did the same thing you did, and it's not the end of the world.
I mean, selfishly, like my son, for example, like he's 5 years old, and he looks at me, and he just got for Christmas, he got a bedroom door basketball hoop, right? Like little Nerf thing,
best.
like they're awesome, right?
Love those things.
And he's been playing with that thing nonstop. And he's like, Dad, I just made 3 in a row, blah, blah, blah. It's amazing, right? And he, in his mind, his 5-year-old brain, I could have been a basketball player because I can sit there and I can make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like,
he
oh
thinks
my
I'm the
God, he's
best
so
thing
good.
ever. And that's really, selfishly, that's really cool to see. But I had to tell him, dude, I don't make it every time because he was getting frustrated.
Yeah, I had that same
I was like,
conversation with
"Dude,
Sam.
I just missed it 3 times in a row. And he couldn't even recall that I missed it. He's like, dude, you make it every time. I'm like, no.
No,
I'm not perfect.
I had that conversation with Sam because he got the same thing, basketball hoop
All
for the
right,
door.
nice.
He's like, I can't. He's like, keep missing it. I'm like, listen, everybody misses their shots.
Yeah.
And this goes with baseball too.
Great life
I'm like,
lesson.
I'm like, you know LeBron James? He's like, yeah. I'm like, he doesn't make it every time. He misses a lot of shots. I mean, even the best players in the world miss their shots. And I'm like, you know what you do? You keep practicing, you keep doing it, and you don't give up, and you'll make those shots.
Dude.
And he's taking it in, man.
Great
Like,
life lesson.
We're baseball guys. You into baseball?
Love it.
Yeah. So like I remember last year in T-ball, Gibbs was really mad. So T-ball, they do the I can't remember what we call it now, but basically do coach pitch for, I think they get 3 shots at it. If they don't hit it, then you put it on the tee, right? And Gibbs, I think it was the second to last game, was the first time all season he had to put it on a tee, and he was pissed. He's like, I'm good, I don't want to put it on the tee. He was like, started crying, and I was like, listen. And so after the game, I was like, listen, dude, like Frankie Lindor, who's like his favorite player and everything.
Hero, yeah.
I'm like, he's a professional, an all-star. He hits it 1 out of every 3 times.
Yeah.
He goes, what do you mean? I go, most of the time he fails. He goes,
You
really?
could fail 66% of the
Yeah.
time and be in the Hall of Fame.
He goes,
Yeah.
really? I'm like, yeah, man. Like that's how hard this stuff is. You keep practicing and you'll be okay.
Yeah.
And like, that was one of the first times like I felt like a concept that was way out of his league. He took
He grasped it.
and he grasped it.
Yeah,
And he was like,
it works,
oh,
man.
that's awesome.
That
That's
kind of stuff
awesome.
works.
And like I felt like that was like one of my proud dads.
Yeah,
It's
I was
just
gonna
like,
say-
I felt like explaining
cool.
that to him because it could have been very easy, and I thought about it. It was just like, dude, you're doing great, buddy. Don't worry about it. It's okay.
Yeah, it's just-
but like explaining to him that concept,
Taking the time. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it
even though he was probably young.
Tell a
for it.
story. Tell a
But
story.
still, I think
to
it
get
sticks with them.
right? And like I think that he got it.
Yeah, I mean,
know?
another example of that. And this is a proud dad moment, I guess. We play a lot of board games because we got a bunch of new ones, and he has a little air hockey table that he got, and he was beating me, like legitimately beat me a few times. But then I beat him, and he starts crying. I go, dude, it's not a big deal if you lose. I'm like, listen, how many times did I lose before I beat you? And he goes like 3 or 4 times. I'm like, did I cry? He goes, no.
Right.
I go, I said, good game. Let's play again. I'm like, whenever you lose, tell the person that you lost to, good game. Let's do it again.
Let's try it.
Yeah.
Because I'll beat you next time. You know what I mean?
Well, it's
So-
resiliency, it's
exactly.
sportsmanship. It's like all
Right.
those lessons built into
Not
one.
quitting.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And I said,
not
I'm like,
quitting,
don't
yeah.
give up. Because
Resiliency, yeah.
don't give up on it. Just try again. And he goes, so Liz tells me yesterday, she's like, yeah, I beat him a couple times. And he told me when she's like, he said, good game.
See,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I go,
so he's showing
and he goes,
sportsmanship.
good game. He goes, good game, mommy. He's like, you want to play again? And he did it. And then we played some games yesterday, and same thing. He was good to go. I'm like, damn, he's actually taking this shit in.
Well,
That's
that's
awesome.
good. You got to learn. But sometimes
You have to
like,
learn to
even-
lose.
Like even like my biggest my favorite hockey player of all time, Steve Yzerman. So he was with the captain of Red Wings for like 20 some years, right? So one of his and I met the guy, and he came in and talked to my team one time at Joe Louis Arena, which was phenomenal. We got to meet him, and he's was talking to my kids. It was great. So I coached hockey for a while. So anyways, he goes, sometimes in order to understand how to win, you have to understand how to lose. He goes, I've lost for 16 years with the Red Wings. And then finally, I learned how to win by taking all those experiences on losing and seeing exactly where I was weak and how to get past that adversity. So, I mean, that's at a very top level. Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
it's
But you can break that down.
to any level.
Yeah,
you
for sure,
It
for
literally
anything.
is. You have to almost understand how to lose before you can learn how to win.
I-
And I think
I
a lot
agree.
of teams feel that way. A lot
For sure.
of teams do that.
Because majority of the time, you're losing. Like, you're not always going to win the
So why
championship.
did I
It's
lose?
so hard
Why
to.
did I lose? And you put the pieces together and you understand, like, maybe is it mental weakness? Is it just X's and O's? You just got to figure it out.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, I almost think that we as parents perpetuate that. I mean, think about like when your kids are learning to walk. Mm-hmm. Do you tell them like, "Oh man, you got to do that better"? No, it's just like, "Oh,
Do it
you're
again.
almost there.
Do it-
You're almost there.
do
You
it
do
again.
it again."
Because you're
do it
talking them up
again.
all the time.
Right?
Riding a
They're
bike.
not comprehending
Riding a
that.
bike.
But
Learning how to ride a bike.
Right.
Same thing.
But then when they're 6, 7, 5, 6, 7 years old, it's like, all right, or like maybe they see your body language that they didn't get that hit or they didn't whatever, and then now they're upset. Like we never did that when they were learning to walk. Mm-hmm. Right?
No,
So
we're
they had
talking up-
no.
Yeah.
There is no idea in their head that they failed. It was just like, I'm going to keep doing it.
And it's tough too because, like you said, they read your body language,
Right.
which means you need to really control yourself.
Well, they're learning it from
because
somewhere, right?
Because they turn it because you know, the kids are playing a sport and they look at you after they do something.
I do it.
They look at you all the time. Yeah, we're all guilty of it.
They watch you constantly.
Yeah.
They do. And I always say the best example is I remember I played in a fall ball league when I was in high school. And I didn't notice this at the time, but my dad would take videos of my swing to make sure I was making my adjustments. And I hit this home run. And my grandpa's like, "Oh man, that's gone. Like, you know, it was a good hit." And my dad's like, well, like
He has something to say about
like
it.
it's like it wasn't the right way he was supposed to do it. And I remember watching the video and being like,
kind of an
"Jesus,
uppercut."
Dad." Like, man, I just hit a home run and it was still like, need to work on that. But like, yeah, but I mean, like you would always look at your parents though to see how they reacted to something. If you fuck something up and you turn and look at them and they're like,
Dude, I still do it.
and that kills you.
I still do it.
We all do.
100%.
100%.
Like I'll be on FaceTime with my parents live in Arizona. And so we'll be on FaceTime with the kids or something like that. And I'll like yell at my kids because they're doing something stupid or whatever. And my mom will look at me and I'm like,
I know.
"You're right.
Yeah,
I shouldn't be a
she's
dick."
disappointed.
Like,
Yeah, exactly. You're still looking at them.
Right,
You're 35 years old. You're still looking at it like
facade for my parents, you know.
But you look at your parents still like if I'm
You want to
at my
impress
mom's
your
house
parents.
like and I'm doing something with the kids and I'm like and I'll even say I'm like I think I fucked something up or like you get that recognition from your parents to see like how they feel about your parenting.
How about you doing that?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
And I'm like, and
100%.
they're like, "You're fine. Just try doing this." Like, like, damn it. You're always doing it forever. Like your parents are
That's
there.
part of
like,
life.
Yeah.
You want to make people proud of you, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Because you're still looking up to them. That's
But what an influence we have on our kids. I mean, that just goes back.
crazy.
Like, it's a crazy.
huge influence.
That's why you always want to try to get better. And the thing is, we're always going to be retarded at it.
Yeah,
Keeping it real.
absolutely.
We're never going to be good at it.
right?
No, but you do the
There's
best
no
you
such
can.
But
thing.
you do the best you can. You try to learn
But
from
then
each other.
you
and-
accept that, and then you can quarterback it.
But
or,
I think it's the recognition is realizing what you're doing wrong or what you said wrong or
yeah.
something that you think like, oh shit, I shouldn't have yelled at him like that. But if you recognize it and you can fix it, then that's what do we say? That's first step is admittance or
admitting
admitting
that there's a problem.
yeah. So I mean, like that's what's big. Like, unless you just keep
I had
redoing
like
it.
You can't do the same thing over and over
And-
again and
and-
expect a different result.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
It's
Like,
the same-
if you don't
same
recognize
premise.
that you're doing something wrong, then you're in big trouble.
I had that the other night. We were doing was it last night? I don't know. We were playing a Call of Duty. It's my time we talked about that.
Relax.
Like relax and kind of not think about anything else and shoot zombies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter gets up and she's 3. She comes downstairs. I'm like, oh.
Oh, it happens all the time with us. Hey man, I gotta walk away for a
Guys,
second.
I gotta pause it.
I got a kid up.
And like several times, probably 9 times out of 10, I like, so it's time to go to bed.
Just push her back.
Throw her back in bed and like
Run
cover
back out to
up,
the family room.
Run back, get the game going. And like last night, I was like, I took some time and I didn't like read her a story again or anything like that, but I did. I what's going on? And I'm just not tired. And like, okay, well, like here's what we need to do. And I don't know. I felt much better about myself, at least,
Taking the time.
that I took the time because like my fucking game didn't matter. Like, yeah, these guys were waiting, but whatever,
They'll play without me.
Right.
And do we care?
No.
No.
No one
But like you think though when you're running back to the room to go put him to sleep. Oh, God, I
It's selfish, right? Like I need to get back there. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just a good thing to sometimes take a step back and say, what in this moment, what is really important?
Yeah.
Is it my game? Probably not. Is it my daughter who's like wide awake because she took a 3-hour nap earlier and we were selfish earlier and let her take a nap because
Yeah, the big picture is yes, putting the child back to bed the right way.
Right.
and
It's probably more important.
Yeah,
probably a little bit more important.
that's
Good
true.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, good all around here.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, it was
man.
fun, guys. I
Did you
appreciate
have a
it.
good time?
Yeah,
Good.
I enjoyed it.
Good.
I enjoyed it. I didn't know what to expect. My first time.
no
We
one
just talk.
I've heard a few podcasts
Yeah.
for sure, but I appreciate you inviting me. Hopefully,
Absolutely,
Yeah.
man. This was fun.
took some.
Yeah, we
few
definitely take
laughs.
something from. Yeah, I mean, we take something from every episode.
Yeah.
Every dad we have on, it's like, man, it makes you think.
It's
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah. We definitely have a good time with it. So, what do you want to plug? Plug the band. Plug what you do.
Yeah, my band is fine. I mean, I work in the mortgage industries. I purchases, refinance. playing a band called Locked and Loaded here locally. Obviously, in 2020, it hasn't been that lucrative.
sure.
But we don't really do it for the money. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Get
right.
together and
I
play
get
some
it.
It's like
music.
this.
Yeah.
It's like this for us. So we get to get out and go do
exactly,
something.
Exactly, same
Right.
thing. So check us out.
But you guys are good. It's fun. So
Locked and
Check
Loaded.
us out on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. We're around.
cool. Locked and loaded.
Yep.
I like
Got it, man. Thank you.
Steve, what else you got? You got anything else?
I'm good.
All right. Well, let's go watch some of the game.
Yeah, it is time.
Go Browns.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah. So follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all that kind of good stuff. Download us on your favorite podcast app. Check us out on the website, www.thetalkingdads.com. We got our blog coming out every Wednesday. I think that's it, right?
Yeah, you got it. Nailed it.
All right. So, Bill, thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
And in the meantime,
Raise good humans. Thank you. Peace. Hey, guys, if you love what you just heard or watched, and we know you did, do us a solid and hit that thumbs up. Share with your friends and throw us a comment, literally about anything. Your support legit keeps us going. Oh, and don't forget to give us that 5-star rating. We really appreciate you.